screen. Not sure what's going on there. All right. Looks like I'm live. Looks like I'm live. So I wonder if I'm trying out a new way to stream today. So I could be on a delay, but I'm gonna try to figure out how to turn the delay off. So y'all bear with me while I figure out how to turn this delay off. They're not doing much right now. They're just kind of talking, doing the whole kickoff talk. All right. Mic down. So Gano's kicking off. We got a fumble at the goal line, across the 10, across the 15, and he's going down at the 16. And the Saints will start off with the ball. And I'm going to have to figure out how to control everything else. So, like I said, bear with me while I figure this out. But with the dumpster fires, I should actually do that, Silent Chris. I should do that. And I think I will. I think I will. Hand off to Kamara, and he's hitting the backfield. Okay. Now that we want to tank, you can stop the run. Now that we want to tank, you can stop the run now. And I think I'm going to do that, actually. Hopefully this doesn't switch. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna pull this this screen over. All right. So let's see. Okay, so they do have the dumpster fire background over there. Okay. I'm gonna have to paste that in. Valdez Scantling has about a 5-6 yard gain there. Let's see. Paste. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll do it at halftime when we're in full dumpster fire mode. But right now, we got Derek Carr hitting the tight end who drops the ball, and the Giants defense forces an easy 3 and out, which again makes you think, like, are you serious? Like, why are y'all playing defense now? There's no way that you should all be playing defense right now. And I think I usually have a mute button and everything in my stream, in my streaming software, but right now, am I even in focus right now? Let's see. All right, looks like I'm in focus now. But yeah, I usually have a streaming software, but StreamYard decided to like double their price out of nowhere, and I was like, "There's no way I'm allowing you to do that." And it looks like this dude like runs like a tight end. He's built like a receiver, but he runs like a slow tight end. And for some reason, he had a nice return. Drew Lock getting excited coming out there. Like I said, folks, usually I have a mute button or something. But I'm figuring it out. So here goes the Giants offense. Drew Lock, Evan Neal, Tyrone Tracy. Malik Nabers is out there. And he's in motion. And Drew Lock has time. He checking it down to Tyrone Tracy, who just lets the ball roll down his stomach, drops the ball. So we're in a very unique situation right now where we're like, we're in a unique situation where we don't want to watch horrible football, but we want to lose. It just gets difficult. Here goes Drew Lock taking a shot, and Darius Slayton makes like a ridiculous catch, and he's out of bounds. Okay. I'm like, all of a sudden, y'all want to play good football. Let's see if I can get this camera straightened. Let's see. Because it looks like I'm kind of cut off here. I think I need to scoot over. Yep. That'll solve it. And probably make myself a little bit smaller so I'm not cutting off Malik. All right, here we go. Drew Lock throwing it on 3rd and 10 to Wandale. You got a flag on the field, though. So, I mean, like, I wonder how, usually in my streaming software, I'm, like, usually able to, like, you know, mute, turn the camera off for a sec. I wonder if I'm able to do that the same way, just streaming straight from OBS. But there you go. It's Josh Azudu holding on the left side. I mean, what else is new? What else is new? What else do we expect? Field goal offense in full effect. So they did accept that penalty. We're here on a 3rd and 15. Just around the 50. Drew Lock in the shotgun. He's got a lot of time here. He's still moving around. He's stepping up. And it looks like he's going to take off. And he's actually going to get this first down. Oh my gosh, I'm disgusted. The Saints are horrible. They're horrible. They're horrible. I can't even I don't get it. They're horrible. I'm gonna have to figure out how to work all this stuff. I mean, I feel like OBS has some more settings that I'm just not seeing. Here we go. Hand off to Tyrone Tracy. Tracy's cutting outside, and he's gonna run into a wall after about a gain or two. He got laid down. I think that was Demario Davis. Let's see. We'll see. We'll see what that linebacker's name is. I thought that was that is Demario Davis. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, these players are not going to actually tank. Like, whatever you do, no matter what the coaches want, no matter what the fans want, these players, like, they need to make good plays because they want to stay in the NFL, especially the players that are out there right now. Like, you can almost convince me that a guy like Dexter Lawrence or a guy like Andrew, like a guy like that his job is completely safe. You can say, okay, maybe he's going to tank, but back at the end roster guy, why would he go out there and tank so he can't get another job in his life? That makes no sense. 3rd and 8 here for the Giants coming up. Drew Lock making some checks at the line. Looks like Malik is in the slot. Hyatt at the top of your screen. He's got, oh boy. Ball got batted up in the air, and the Giants will kick a field goal. Wandale being Wandale. Oh yeah. Like, I just instinctively go to look for, like, the mute button. And it looks like the mute button is going to have to be me muting my actual mic, which is going to get some inconsistent sound. So let me see if I can. Let's see. I wonder if I can just hit. The Giants are going for it here on 4th and 8. Or they're probably trying to get him to jump maybe to then go for it. They're going for it. 4th and 8. Drew Lock. He's got time again. He's scrambling, and you got a hold, and he's throwing it away, and we're going to turn it over on downs. That looked like a hold against the Giants. That was just a horrible play. Studio mode. Let's see if I can get some nope, nothing there. I can't tell you. I don't know where the mute button is for this so they're saying that the field goal would have been a long field goal with the wind. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. Dable wants to be home for Christmas. Oh, he'll be home. Intentional grounding on Drew Lock. So we go back 10 yards because of the penalty, and the Saints will start probably across midfield or just around midfield. So listen, I will never be rooting against the Giants ever again, but for these next couple games, we got to lose. So good job, Drew Lock, for stinking up the place. Okay, so we're back on commercial now. So let's see if I can. Let's see if there are any controls. Let's see. How do I mute? How do I mute? I probably just have to slide the cursor, maybe. Oh, okay. Okay, we got hotkeys here. Okay, perfect. I got hotkeys I didn't know about. So let's see what's going on in the chat. Like I said, I'm in a different streaming interface than I usually am. So let's see what's going on in the chat. We got Jennifer. We got Nico. And by the way, did my stream just go out for a sec? Let me know if that happened. We got Jennifer. We got Nico. We got Silent Chris. Let's see. Haven't really missed anything. Looks like we got 4 people in here today. I'll tell you, man, like this channel was growing so quick like a month ago, and like ever since the Giants got to like their 9th straight loss, like the views just disappeared. People do not want to even think about the Giants during the week. It's just sad. It's just sad that we've gotten here. And I'm not sure if you all saw that plane that flew around the stadium that said, please, John Mayer, fix something or something like that. Basically just saying the Giants are a miserable dumpster fire. Please, John Mayer, fix it. That's essentially what it was saying. What's going on, Carmelo? See, here I actually have like when people at me, like it gets highlighted. Yes, that's pretty cool. So see if I can get settings here. All right, here we go. Short throw to Kamara. Kamara is going to have to put in work today. Quick 7 from Alvin Kamara on a short pass from Derek Carr, who I think is still their quarterback. Like, I mean, like, I'm not even, like, the research I used to do on other teams before the games is just gone out of the window because all we have to do is make sure we lose, and we can do that in our sleep. All right, here we go. Kamara is going to get stood up. I mean, for some reason, this backup Giants defensive line is shutting down the run. Is it Dexter Lawrence's fault? Like, what's going on? Like, it's got to be Dexter Lawrence's fault. Can Dex just not stop? I'm joking, but like, why are they just shutting down the run like this? Like, why is Thibodeau playing this hard? Like somebody's gonna overpay for you in about a year and a half anyway, Tibbs. Like there's no reason for you to play this hard. All right, here we go. 3rd and 5. Hand off to Kamara, and this time he's got some space. Why shouldn't we oh man, this feels crazy rooting for another team, man. Oh man, this is just disgusting. The fact that we've gotten here is nuts. The fact that we've gotten here is absolutely nuts. Let's see what the chat's looking like. I gotta get this chat in its own thing. Okay, another handoff to Kamara, who's trying to get to the outside, and there's nothing else. I just know this team is gonna find a way to screw things up. Let me look back up. Jennifer says, Diggy, do you like? Let's see. Okay, that's one thing I can't do here. Anyway, Jennifer says, Diggy, who do you like, Ward or Sanders? I would say I'm a Shador Sanders fan over Cam Ward, but I like both of them. I just think Shador is more refined as a passer. I think his pocket presence is elite. And I mean, that's really what I look for. I think he can make all the throws. He's not as naturally talented as Cam Ward, but I think everything else between the ears he has going on. That's strange. I'm not able to even pin guys. Pin comments. Okay. 3rd and 15 here. Or maybe I can pin comments on OBS. I might just go there. And we get a short pass from Derek Carr. Both of these teams are so bad. I just already know I'm just going to hate watching this game. I just know I'm going to hate watching this game. All right, let's see if I can mute. All this time I could have. Okay, 53-yard attempt here from Blake Greer. I just figured out that I've been spending the last 10 minutes trying to do something that I could have easily done. 53-yarder from the Saints, and it's no good. This is going to be a horrible game, people. This is going to be a horrible game. This is going to be an absolutely horrible game, people. I can already tell. It's just going to be a bad game. I'll eventually figure this whole OBS stream thing out. But let's take a look back at the chat. There's tickets as low as $25. Yeah, there's tickets now up that are like $10. There's tickets up that are like $10 now. Yeah, the Saints are horrible. They're horrible, man. Like they're horrible. It's ridiculous how bad the Saints are right now. I did not know that they were this bad either. Okay, let's see. So if I wanted to turn my camera off, I can't necessarily do that. I would just have to turn this off. Okay, strange. Anyway, we're 0-0. The Saints suck. The Giants suck. And it looks like the Saints are trying their best to try to take our pick from us because they are playing horrible football right now. Playing horrible football right now. Because I know I'm trying to figure out how I can get this whole. You said, you know, this whole season is a wash where I'm just doing a tutorial. I'm just doing just like a run through. Because I don't know if you were here earlier. StreamYard, for some reason, like doubled their price. They just doubled their price randomly. And I'm like, there's no way I'm paying that price. Like, they didn't even give like a notice. They just like all of a sudden just charged me for like And I'm like, no way, you're gonna give me my money back. So I'm just like, screw it. I'm just gonna go straight through OBS. And I know there is a way to get the YouTube chat in the OBS. Why am I still watching it? That's a good question, man. That's a good question. Why do we still watch this thing? Okay. So I'm gonna try something, and I may very well like lose you all for a sec. I hope this doesn't end the stream. I hope this doesn't end the stream. I'll wait until we get to I'll wait until we get to commercial because I just know something crazy gonna happen. Here we go. Drew Lock handoff to who's that? Singletary? That's Tyrone Tracy actually. Okay. Tyrone Tracy for about 4 yards there. You just got your streaming equipment. Yeah, just go over. If you don't want to have to deal with this OBS stuff, just go to Restream. That's what everybody's doing. They're going over to Restream, and I may end up going there, but this week I'm just trying out OBS. But I'm like, there's no way I'm paying double the price for StreamYard just so I don't have a watermark on the screen. I mean, are you kidding me? It's because all these companies, these like businesses started using StreamYard, so now like they'll just pay whatever because they don't know what the cost was in the past. But people were using OBS to stream. People been using OBS to stream for like the last 15, 20 years. Here we go, 3rd and 2. Wandale in motion. Drew Lock not seeing anybody that's open and almost if Tracy would have been doing anything else, that would have been an interception. And the Giants, like in a blink of an eye, are here on 4th down. I don't know why they didn't. I mean, look at the field. Nobody is even. Brian Dable is cooked. He's cooked. There's no way that he expected that. I mean, unless he knows he's keeping his job, there's no way he thought that would get a first down. Because why are you running essentially a swing screen to Wandale Robinson and then you just roll out to the other side and try to get it off to the corner? That was a beautiful punt. That was a beautiful punt. Coffin corner punt right there. Jamie Gillen living his best life because he gets the punt all day long. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna try, like I said, I'm gonna try something out. See if I can get this the YouTube screen here, and I may get kicked off. So hopefully I don't get kicked off. Hopefully I don't get kicked off, and I can't change anything. Okay. Yeah, that's something else. Okay. I think I may just go split screen right here then. I think I'm just gonna have to go split screen here so I can actually see the chat and do whatever I need to do in OBS too. Okay. The fact that nobody has any points here is ridiculous. Like both of these defenses are horrible. They're like two awful defenses, and no one can get on the board. It's so pitiful. All right, so that man football is about to be on OT. Oh, that man's foot is gonna be on. Yeah, I mean Jamie Gillen is gonna be working hard today. I usually put the game on like the screens ahead in front of me, but to be honest, the chat may be more interesting in the game today, so I might switch screens. Or maybe I'll just do this. All right. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out this setup, man. Like, this is a weird setup. Here we go, Jamie Gillen. Yeah, I hope they don't win. I really hope they. I mean, this is. It looks like the Saints are like prepared to play down to us. So here we go, Alvin Kamara in the backfield. And Derek Carr's is going to drop back. He's taking a deep shot. And somebody actually. Now we can play the football. Now we can stop the run. Now we can play the football in the air. And Outdoor is just like, I don't know. I didn't. Like, shut up, man. Now all of a sudden we can play the football. Any other time, you know, the guy's just jumping over Adoree and just grabbing the ball out of the air. But now Adoree can actually cover people downfield. Yeah, you can get Giants tickets for $10. I've never, ever in my life seen Giants tickets for $10. I haven't seen it. Handoff to Kamara. Kamara's got 5. They're calling Alvin Kamara the ageless wonder. I mean, how old is he? He's like 20 something. Alvin Kamara can't be that old. Alvin Kamara is 29. Yeah, he just turned 29. I mean, I guess you can say that's old for a running back, but it's not like he's like ancient. To call him the ageless wonder is crazy. All right, Kamara in the backfield with Derek Carr. Carr stepping up. Boom. Completed. And he fumbled the football. Okay, they're going to say he was down. All right. I forgot Chris Olave existed. Yeah, they don't have Chris Olave. That's something else. They don't have Chris Olave. They don't have Rashid Shaheed. So they're missing a lot of guys. We're missing a lot of guys too. But our guys aren't good. 1st and 10. Derek Carr. Play action. Another shot. Oh, the Saints are feeling themselves now. 2 chunks back to back. Straight down the seam right there. Jawan Johnson in the flex tight end spot. Easy stuff. I mean, Micah McFadden was so far underneath. Yeah, there's no way we're winning the other games. I mean, maybe you can say like they may win the Colts game if Anthony Richardson like completely implodes and throws like 5 interceptions and a couple of them are defensive touchdowns. But other than that, I don't see us winning the other games. And play action. Derek Carr's taking off and he's gonna run. He's high stepping, picking up 3. Derek Carr's like, wait, I'm playing against the Giants. Why was I struggling? Falcons just got in the end zone there. I didn't do anything on underdog today, but I might do something for the next game. Or maybe I'll do something for this game at halftime, but I usually don't do that. 2nd and 7 here. Handoff, and he's making everybody miss. The Giants once again can't tackle, and he picks up a 1st down. That's the Giants football. That's the New York Giants team I saw last week. You get a missed tackle in the backfield. The guy holding the ball out here who knows why he's holding the ball like that. But there's no way. Why is he holding the ball like somebody needs to not? I mean, I don't necessarily want to win this game, but at the same time, if you're going to hold the ball like that, somebody needs to knock it out. First and 10. Play action. He's going to hit the tight end underneath. Tight end's got a lot of space. He's lowering his shoulder, and he's got another 1st down. Saints are down inside the 20 at the 19. Oh yeah, the Eagles will definitely. That's another game I'm concerned about. But you know why we're good against the Eagles? Because Nick Sirianni is the pettiest coach in the league, and Nick Sirianni will definitely want Saquon to break the rushing record against us. They're gonna definitely try to break the rushing record against us. So that'll get us a quarterback, and that'll be like Saquon like completing his duty for us. Pitch to Kamara. Kamara's got some space. Kamara's running. He's just inside the 10. He's going to go out of bounds at the 9. I got Kamara on my fantasy team, so I need him to show up today. But yeah, if Saquon can go out and win a game against us and like run for like 200 yards against us and make sure we don't win, to make sure we get our quarterbacks, then listen, I'm cool. I'm cool. Yeah, I don't think they'll bench their starters. I think they want Saquon to get that record. I mean, and also like even if it's not against the Giants, I think you have to go for that record. Like if he's like in the last week. All right, here we go. More missed tackles. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god! Oh no! This defense. That's like one of them plays that if that happens, like I'm firing the defensive coordinator right there. I'm like turning over and looking at him or Brian Dable or whoever, and I'm saying get off the field. Get off the field. Because there's no way I just saw what I just saw in front of my eyes right now. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way I just saw a man break like 5 or like there's no way. Saquon is such a weirdo, man. Like Lady Godiva out there blasting Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. But yeah, Saquon is such a weirdo. He probably would say, I didn't think it was the right thing to do against this team. You know, I didn't want to beat down my old teammates. So I know I could have had the record, but I didn't want the record. Like, what a weirdo, man. Like, break the record. If you have a chance to break the rushing record, I mean, there's no way you don't do it. Let's see. So the record is 2105. Saquon is on pace to break that. 2105 is crazy. Eric Dickerson was a monster. um, I don't know what Saquon is exactly on pace for though. Like he's been basically playing this season like Aston Genty. He's basically like been getting like 100 yards every year, every week, like 150, 200. He had 300 total yards. I mean, like it's crazy. And that's the thing. Unlike the other running backs who got close to this record, is like a lot of them didn't even catch that many passes. Like Saquon has a bunch of catches too, like a bunch of yards catching it too. So I mean, it's honestly impressive. Even though that Eagles team is stacked, it just reinforces that I really believe that once I saw Saquon jump out there, like in 2018 as a rookie, I was like, this is the best running back I've ever seen play. I mean, he quickly, start playing worse once the Giants situation got worse. But when I saw that dude in 2018 and he was healthy and fast, because let's be real, we did not see this breakaway speed the last 3 years in New York. We didn't see it. But, I was like, once I saw that, man, I was like, this dude's the best running back I've ever seen play. As far as like in that moment. And it looks like he's getting back to that. So yeah, last week he had 107. The week before he had that ridiculous game where he had 255 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then 47 yards. Oh, Smith Marsette's getting hit back there. Week before last, he had week before last he had 146 yards. So like every week he gets over 100 yards, pretty much. And now the Saints got an illegal formation. Let's see where Saquon's at already. Like, what is he? Let's see. Yeah, the Eagles are playing against the Panthers, so he should have another big game. He's got 2 carries right now for 8 yards. 1 target, 0 catches. Yeah, but I think you're right. I think he is on pace for like 2155. All right, here we go. Drew Lock's got some time again. I mean, yeah, that was actually a good play by that Saints defender as the ball got tipped, and he just immediately pushed Daniel Bellinger on the ground because there's no pass interference at that point. Drew Lock hasn't completed a pass yet. He hasn't completed a pass yet. Oh no. Here we go. Malik Nabers in motion. Drew Lock under center again. Handing off to Singletary here, who's going to get about 2.5, 3 yards, and the Giants will be back in the 3rd and long. Right back in 3rd and long. So yeah, Drew Lock still doesn't have a pass completed. We're here on 3rd and 6, just outside of our 35. Decent starting field position. Tracy in motion. Drew Lock is going to have to get rid of it. He's taking off. I mean, is he... What is he doing? First off, Drew Lock had Tyrone Tracy for a first down, and then he threw it to Jalen Hyatt, and he just threw it nowhere. It's like, does he think that he's Pat Mahomes now? He's just running around throwing inaccurate passes now. There's no way. Oh, okay. I see what he was doing. I think he was trying to get that to Wanda. I don't know. I'm not going to lie and say I saw what he was doing. It didn't make sense. Wasn't a good play. Here we go. Punt. And they're going to get the ball at the 30. So after an amazing punt the last time, this time we get a very ordinary punt. Because last time they went 90-something yards anyway, so who cares? Oh man, I can't say I've been any more ashamed than I am right now to be a Giants fan. Because the Saints are like a laughably bad team right now, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing at all we can do about this because we're worse. Because there you go, a screenplay where like this team is so bad. 7-0. But this game has pretty much been dead even into that last Saints drive. Hopefully, if they get to 14, I mean, who are you kidding? I think 7 is probably an insurmountable lead. But if they get to 14, I think this game is over. Let's just hope we can get some exciting stuff going. Oh, yeah, already yawning. We're in the first quarter. This might be the first game I ever fall asleep on stream. It's honestly crazy how we can't be bad. We gotta be really bad and break bad records. Yeah, the Giants always do being bad worse than anybody else. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, let's take a look at what the tankathon is going. So the Jaguars are down 3-0 to the Titans. Mac Jones is 4 for 7 for 58 yards. He's got an interception already. He's doing his thing. Um, let's see. The Raiders aren't playing yet. Oh, the Raiders are down 14-0 already to the Bucks. So that game's over. The game was over after the national anthem. Yeah, yeah. If the Saints can get to even 10 points, the game's over. Aiden O'Connell for the Raiders is 2 for 5 for 20 yards and a sack. Bucks up 14-zip. Um, Baker Mayfield is 9 for 11 for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. So the Raiders aren't giving away. They're not giving away that top pick that they have at all. They're number 2 right now. We gotta hope that the Jaguars can come back and win this game against the Titans, but I don't have faith there because Will Levis just completed a pass for 10 yards on 3rd and 3, and it looks like the Titans are gonna go back downfield again. I just can't wait until all this is over. I just can't wait until all this is over. I can't wait to have like a stream where like Daniel Jones or one of Daniel Jones's backups isn't my quarterback for the first time on stream. Because of course I got to be here for Eli on YouTube, but I never got to stream. When we actually had a decent quarterback back there. So here on 2nd and 15, Saints throw it short. This is gonna make this a 3rd and 7. So they get what 8 on second down. This will be 3rd and 7 here for the Saints, and again, two bad teams duking it out. And I mean, this has got to be one of the more boring games I've seen in my life. And it's funny that the announcer knows it. We're in the second quarter, and he's like, the Giants defense has got to find a way to get a stop. Because they know that like a 14 or 10 point lead against the Giants is insurmountable. And Derek Carr, whoo, Micah McFadden hurt somebody. He laid that dude out. Micah McFadden put that dude on a poster. Micah McFadden is like, whether you catch it or not, I'm lighting you up. Like I said, man, this game is so boring. I'm sitting here yawning. I got green tea to keep me awake, but the Giants will do that to you. They'll do that to you. There you go, Smith Marset returning it. He's going out of bounds at the 35. He's been a decent returner for us. And now you got a flag down. That'll probably take us back 10 yards. It looks like fans are leaving already. I mean, listen, even if they were down like 21-0 right now, to leave a game makes no sense at this point. It makes no sense at all at this point. They're actually saying it's on the kicking team, so we get a break. Notice the Giants start getting breaks when they're already eliminated. Yeah, that was definitely a late hit. Panthers, you said just got up, so they just kicked the field goal. Yeah, the Eagles are already they're already down to the 37 of the Panthers. They're probably going to get in the end zone. Saquon has 38 yards now. 5 carries, 38 yards. He's on his way to another 100-yard game. Giants got the ball basically at midfield. Drew Lock has got it. He's holding it forever. He's making somebody miss. He's making another guy miss. He's checking it down to Daniel Bellinger. Theo Johnson's on IR, for people who don't know. And Daniel Bellinger picks up a first down. Yeah, they've tried to just mute him, but, he's a good player. I don't know why we just, we don't use him. But we already knew that about Dable and Mike Kafka. Is like they had teams where like they had one tight end and they didn't use the other tight ends at all. There's Tyrone Tracy. They're just talking about how bad the Giants are right now. 2nd and 7. Drew Lock making somebody miss again. And that actually got completed. Listen, Drew Lock is giving us a preview of how our quarterback next year is going to play. Drew Lock is giving us a preview of having a scrambling quarterback. Look at Tyrone Tracy making somebody miss. All right, here we go. There's Drew Lock trying to throw the ball away, and they'll give it to him because Wandale was short. But let's see, Evan Ingram, we used to. Yeah, Evan Ingram. Was he here with Dable at all? I don't think he was here with Dable, or maybe he was here the first year. I got to think about that. Was he here at all with Dable? No, I don't think Evan Ingram was here with Dable. Yeah, that was Daniel Bellinger as a rookie. And Drew Lock's just going to go down right there on 3rd and 9, and that'll wrap up the drive. So the Giants will kick a field goal. Hopefully Gano is decent now and he can make it. Honestly, wonder what we would look like with a good quarterback because these quarterbacks make us look bad, but Tyrod Taylor made us look somewhat good. Yeah, I think, like I said, these plays that you're seeing Drew Lock make where he's scrambling around and making throws like that play, I think we'll see a lot more of that, depending on who our quarterback is next year. Definitely if it's Cam Ward, you're going to see that. And you'll see some interceptions like that. You'll see some good plays, but Drew Lock is doing things that Daniel Jones couldn't do. As far as the scrambling part, I think Daniel Jones is still a better quarterback than him. But as far as the scrambling, I think Drew Lock is doing pretty well. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Evan Ingram never played, and that's what I'm saying is like Brian Dable and Mike Kafka like to use only one tight end. Like they'll use two tight ends in the sense of like they'll be both on the field to run block or something. But as far as like game planning for a tight end and actually getting them the ball, they're only doing that. Um, oh my god, my mind went blank. They're only doing that with one tight end. Why did the Vikings fans boo Kirk Cousins? What did Kirk do to the Vikings? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what Kirk. I mean, didn't he just like leave in free agency? And didn't they not want to bring him back? Why are they booing Kirk Cousins? Yep, there the Eagles are 7-0. Saquon Barkley 7 carries for 45 yards. We're not even halfway through the second quarter. He's gonna very easily get another 100-yard game today against the Panthers. This Eagles team is so good when they have this running back at this caliber. I honestly don't know how we're gonna keep them from winning the Super Bowl. And when I say we, I mean the rest of the league. I don't know how. Yeah, because Viking fans were cheering against Kirk Cousins after all he did for them. Now I know he didn't win them any Super Bowl, but he gave them entertaining football for like 7, 8 years. I'm kind of rooting for the Vikings to lose now, and because their fans are ridiculous. Like they just kept saying, "Yeah, when are we trading for Dexter Lawrence?" Like Dexter Lawrence isn't on the trade block, man. Let's see what the Raiders got going on. Still down 14-0. But they are at the 45, at Tampa Bay's 45, so maybe they can make a comeback. Let's look at the Jags and the Titans. Titans are in the red zone, up 3 on the Jags. Oh, just turned it over on downs. Yeah. So Jags just got a goal line stand. They're gonna have to go like 98 yards if they want to score, but good to stop them. It was let's see. Yeah, Saquon definitely wasn't bad here. I just don't think it was worth paying him simply because they did not give him opportunities to succeed here. Like he didn't have any blocking, and he didn't have a quarterback that people respected at all. So he was constantly going against heavy boxes. Like they cannot just stack the box against the Eagles because they got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, and you see what happens here. Nobody can tackle 25 today. The Saints were averaging 27 points a game with Taysom Hill. That's crazy. It's a good thing we held on to Slayton and Ojolari. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, the only way it makes sense to hold on to them is you're bringing them back in free agency. So I think you can get Ojolari on a dirt cheap deal, and I think you can do the same thing. You're probably not gonna get on a dirt cheap deal, but I think you can get back Slay on like a $10 million deal, 12, 13, something like that, which is reasonable for like a wide receiver 2 or 3. Here we go, 7-3. Saints up 7-3. 2nd and 5 coming up. Derek Carr in the shotgun. Hand off to Kamara, and he's going back again. I just don't understand. The Saints, for some reason, cannot run the ball against us. I mean, we got a guy off the Rams practice squad that's just been shutting down the run today. Yeah, I did think they should have at least tried to trade him, especially once Joe Shane was throwing a fit after what happened last year of like, you didn't want to accept my offer, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to negotiate with him again. I think at that point you should have just traded him. Like you should have just traded him at that point. Like if you don't want to negotiate with him again and you're going to just like treat him like crap, then why not just trade him? Because what do you get, a fourth round pick, a third round pick? You decide where he goes. I think we could have traded him to like the Chiefs or one of those teams, not the Chiefs because they got Pacheco. But you all get what I'm saying. We could have traded him to a team like the Bills. That was a team that we kept hearing. We could have, and they're running a fake. It looked like he got it. He didn't get it. Yeah, he's gone. This Saints coach is gone too. But essentially what I'm saying is we could have traded him last year, whether it be for a fourth round pick, a third. Like we could have traded him last year, and I wouldn't like. We would all be rooting for Saquon. We would all be happy if he was like doing what he's doing right now, except on the Bills. That wouldn't be an issue at all. But because he's on the Eagles, it just makes everything worse. Not sure if I actually got muted or not. If I didn't, then my bad. But I pressed the mute button. So here we go. Giants with good field position the same. Again, I mean, this has happened all day, and they haven't done anything with it. This is like a new level of misery as a Giants fan that I haven't even experienced. Like, I just feel like there's no way to win. Like, if we make a good play, I'm going to be upset. If we play bad, I'm going to be upset. Here we go. Drew Lock back there again. He's throwing to the Tyrone Tracy. And he's going to get about 5 or 6 right there. Third and 4. Malik Nabers is singled up at the bottom of the screen. Malik Nabers is singled up. He's singled up. I bet this will be a run. Malik is singled up. And he got shut down. That's Kool-Aid McKinstry shutting down Malik Nabers. We've seen that matchup before. That was a good route, but it was even better coverage, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, there's no team with like over 3 Super Bowls. Like, as far as 4 Super Bowls, there's no team that has 4 Super Bowls that's this bad. Gillen with the boot. Gillen putting it down inside. I mean, Gillen is just getting to practice. He's having the time of his life. Putting that inside the 10. Giants again waste horrible, great field possession. Man, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Who will Neighbors blame this game? Somebody. Somebody. It'll be somebody. Why would we? We like to just give money and draft capital away. I guess I don't know what pass interference is anymore. He was, yeah. I mean, that's just DB play. He's gonna get handsy right there. Yeah, I would say overall that's just decent coverage. Yeah, but one thing I saw today was that people kind of called that out, that Neighbors he's been fighting through this groin injury all year long, and he could have very easily just shut it down. He could have very easily said, I'm not really interested. I'm done for this year. And nobody would have really blamed him, because like, he's dealing with an injury he's been dealing with all year long, and he didn't shut it down. He's actually out there playing. So that tells you something about him. That tells you something about him. So, but it's just still frustrating. Still frustrated. I'm sure he's frustrated because he knows that he could have had like a historic kind of rookie season. He could have been one of those 13, 1,400 yard receivers, and he just won't. That won't be his reality. Like, that's the thing. Like, Malik Neighbors could have very well been a 13, 1,400 yard rookie receiver, but you don't have the quarterback, you don't have the roster around you, and you end up, he's basically going to be a guy that gets like 988, 1,000, maybe if he has a good game the rest of the season, like maybe 1,100. But he could have very well been like a 1,400 yard receiver, maybe even 15, because he was on pace for like 100 and something catches. Let's see, Puka Nakua, I think, has the reception record for rookies. I gotta pull up his stats because he had a million catches. Um, yeah, the dude had 1,486 receiving yards and 105 catches. Puka went crazy. Yeah, Puka has both of the records, but that's also in a what 17 game season. So take that with a grain of salt. And if Odell would have stayed healthy, he'd have like 16, 1,700 in his rookie season, which is crazy to think about. Yeah, Malik was gonna break that record, like, cause it's 110, and he would have shattered that. I mean, the Giants' defense is just playing so well. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you play against a bad offense, but they're playing well. Giants' defense has shut down Alvin Kamara in the run game, and I mean, honestly, I'm annoyed because like I got fantasy stuff to win. 3rd and 5 coming up. Saints 4 wide. 3rd and 5. Derek Carr's got time. He's escaping the pocket. He's throwing it deep. And he's got a receiver who just dropped the ball, it looked like. I don't know if I can blame the quarterback on that throw. It looked like that guy should have caught that. Let's see. Oh, he just missed it. But it looked like he slowed down a little bit. It looked like he kind of slowed down right there. Maybe because Trey Hawkins is a better edge run defender. I don't know. Because even those runs to the edges, Jennifer Brooks says, "Oh no." Let's see Smith Marset making a guy miss. Smith Marset up the middle. Smith Marset is going to return it. Oh no. Oh my god. No, no, no. There's a flag on the field. And it looks like it's coming back. Oh, look at the Saints coach. He's pissed. Saints coach went full Dable. It's getting called back. The referees understood the assignment. The Saints coach went full Brian Dable. They just went full Brian Dable right there. That coach was heated. So that was, yeah, that was a whole. That was a whole. Thank you, Strowman. Greg Strowman, I knew he was a real dude, man. I knew he was a real dude. But that was hilarious. That coach had me laughing for us because he was pissed. Carolina's up 10-7 now. Wow. Bryce Young is a dog, man. Bryce Young is really balling out. And I'm just assuming that was Bryce Young. Maybe it was Chuba Hubbard. Bryce Young, 7 for 13, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Chuba Hubbard, 14 carries for 60 yards. He's at 4.3 yards per carry. So the Panthers offense is moving. Adam Thielen, 3 for 3, 48 yards. Who's that? DJ Moore? Or it's not DJ Moore, it's another Moore. Whatever. David Moore, one of the D Moore guys, has 19 yards. The Panthers love drafting guys that are named D Moore. He has been pretty much Adam Thielen. Tommy Tremble, shout out to him. 2-15 gets us whoever we want. I think. I think the Raiders will pull out a game. I really do. I think the Raiders will luck into a game, but I don't think the Giants are good enough to luck into a game with all these injuries we have. Because there's no way that this is real life. Like that, there's no way that Dexter Lawrence being out and all of a sudden these backup defensive tackles are good. And there's no way. And isn't it funny how we had like all of these sacks? We were the sack leaders by far, and now we just. When is the last time the Giants defense had a sack? Like when's the last time that happened? One interception from Darius Moisau, which is a joke. Um, but I don't know the last time we had a sack. It may have been in like we may have not had a sack in like over a month. Okay, so after just like the ridiculous amount of sacks every week, we had against I think the Washington Commander. Look at Drew Lock trying to get away. Drew Lock is just a joke. He just who who does that? But anyway, against the Commanders we had 0 sacks. Then against Carolina we had one. Then against Tampa Bay we had 0. Then against Dallas we had 0. So we've had 1 sack in the last month after literally having like 30 something sacks. Second and 10. Yeah, I don't know who Drew Lock thinks he is. Jennifer knows. It looks like he is. He does think he's Mahomes. Yeah, that dude needs to go to Brian Dable's therapist so he can realize he can figure out how to control his emotions. I would have bet that that dude didn't have I would have bet that dude didn't have hair for how mad he got. All right, 3rd and 6 here. Drew Lock with more time. He's stepping up in the pocket and he's gonna easily. Okay, Drew Lock is tanking. Drew Lock is tanking, man. Drew Lock is tanking. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Ball carrier vision is 12. Ball carrier vision is 12. There's no way. There's no way. He got a call had to come in from upstairs. A call had to come in. There's no way that he did that. There's no way. Like I just watched the man do that. I don't think I've ever seen like a more obvious tank. Like this guy looked at the first down marker and said, "No, I'm gonna veer outside." He thought he was Lamar Jackson. He thought that he was gonna be able to veer outside, get down the sideline, and probably thought he would score. Let's see what you got this time, Gillen. And somebody just ran into him, and they didn't call it. So they'll start off at the 20. Shout out to Dante Pettis, if that is Dante Pettis. Brian Dable said. Brian Dable said, "Go straight, man." Drew Lock just walked straight past him. Like that was the most obvious. Like this dude is getting paid to lose. Like that's one of those. Yeah, we could have all picked up that first down. Like some of us may have been so slow that we got hit, but we would have definitely picked up the first down. All right, let's take another look because it's in our best interest that the Eagles lose too, because then they'll need these games. Let's see, because the Lions are Lions. I want to see their record. Lions are 12-1, right? Lions are 12-1. The Eagles are, what are the Eagles' record? 10-2. So it actually may do better for us for the Eagles to win, because if the Eagles win, that means that they're staying in contention for that number one seed. I mean, I'm just laughing at Drew Lock not getting that first down. Okay, Panthers have the ball right now, up 10-7 against the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is stinking up the place, 4 for 9 for 42 yards. Saquon with 48 yards, like I said, hasn't gotten any yards since the last time we talked to him. Raiders 7 points. Let's go. Raiders in the red zone. Raiders are in the red zone. Raiders in the red zone at the 11. And the Giants defense continues to shut down the run. While Tyler Nubin is hurt. Tyler Nubin down. All right, Raiders 3rd and 2 at the Tampa Bay 6. I gotta pull up red zone. It might make more sense to pull up red zone, but we're commentating the Giants game. Anyway, 3rd and 2, now it's 4th and 2. Incomplete pass. Raiders are kicking a field goal. Dang it. I just hit my leg and that kind of hurt, man. So Newman walks off under his own power, so hopefully he's okay. Next man up, Dane Belton in the game. Dane Belton is known for interceptions. We don't need any today, Dane, because we already decided we don't get interceptions. There we go. Throwing it short to Kamara, and he picks up a first. I don't think fan base is a turncoat. I don't think Deion Sanders would turn down his son going to New York. I don't think so. I think you can already tell by how Shador is acted when they bring up the Giants that he's open to the Giants. He's open to the Raiders. And Dion was kind of talking back and forth with Joe Shane too. Looked like they pretty much were kind of having a good conversation. So that doesn't necessarily mean he wouldn't veto it or try to veto it, but I don't think New York, like, there's a lot of money to be made in New York. There's a lot of money to be made. Quarterback's going to be gone. As far as Daniel Jones, he's gone. The coach is going to be gone, most likely. The GM may be gone. You're going to have $60 million in cap space. You're going to have Andrew Thomas. The blind side is going to be protected. Derek Carr is not good. Yeah, the blind side is going to be protected. You got Dexter Lawrence on defense. You got this man, Brian Burns, who just got the sack on defense. You're going to have probably Aziz back. You're going to have Tibbs back. You're going to have a good team. Not a good team, but you're going to have a lot of good pieces for Shador to come into. So I don't think that the Giants are going to be seen as a dumpster fire once all those guys get healthy and once they, bring in some more help in free agency. Because it's not like the Raiders are some good team. It's not like the Raiders have not been a joke forever. Like, when is the last time the Raiders have done anything? You can make an argument that the Raiders, like, when is the last time they've been anyway relevant? Like, to say like, oh, I'm gonna avoid the Giants, but we're gonna make sure we go to the Raiders. I mean, they don't care about any of that. They care about they care about the city, and you're not gonna turn down New York. I think y'all are giving Dion too much credit. First off, Shador is a good prospect, really good prospect, but Shador is not the prospect that Eli Manning was. He's not. He's not that prospect, and I just don't see that happening like that. Like, Deion Sanders is obviously, he has more influence than Archie Manning did, but I don't think you have the same quarterback, at least coming out of the draft, that Eli Manning was, to where teams are just going to take that. I think Shador, as long as he doesn't go to like the Cleveland Brown, I think they were talking about cities rather than the actual environment. Because Shador is kind of just like, it's kind of like been like excited every time they bring up the Giants and the Raiders. So I don't think they'd say no to Vegas or New York. He didn't trash New York. He did talk about the Raiders, but I don't think he trashed New York. He did talk to Antonio Pierce and say, let's see. I got to pull that up. I see a clip that popped up here. I watched that and talk about that later, nicking around. But if Dion turns down the Giants, yeah, I'm gonna go watch that. If Dion turns down the Giants and says like, "Oh, we're all ready for the Raiders," then that'll be hilarious to me, honestly, because the Giants have been horrible, like definitely, but the Raiders are like completely insignificant. The DJ haters who asked for this, I don't think any of this has to do with Daniel Jones. I'm kind of glad we're out of that era. I'm kind of glad. I mean, if you're replacing a bad quarterback with their hold up, why are they all of a sudden shutting down the run? What is going on? Pause on that, nicking around. Pause. It's just a pause right there. But why are they shutting down the run like this? This is ridiculous. Is that Chapman? Like, what? Is Elijah Chapman? Yeah, but the Raiders haven't been significant since Rich. I mean, like, they're not like a good team. They're not like a storied franchise. There's nothing on the board for there. I got to put on my earpiece to. I just want to see what Dion said about this. Cause somebody reposted this interview from Dion and they say, "How can you watch this and not think that Dion is going to Eli the Giants?" So let me see what he said. All right, quick 5 yards. So Dion said that he would say something if it was an organization he didn't like, but he would do it privately. So I'll listen to the rest of it after this drive. Quick throw to Tyrone Tracy. He got about 5, 6. You got about what 8 yards there. So first down here for the Giants. Our run defense is better with his replacements on the field. I got to look at some more tape before I decide that, but we'll see. We'll see. Because usually Dex is playing the run game pretty well, but he gets a lot of doubles. And it just may be an issue where like the Giants aren't a good run team. Uh, because they like to do a lot of loops with Dex where he'll abandon a gap. That's how he gets a lot of his pressure. So we'll see. Well, I got to look at some of the. Oh, ball got tipped again. So we got a 3rd and 5 coming up. 41 seconds to go in the second quarter. The Giants, this backup Giants offensive line has been protecting Drew Lock pretty well. The reason I won't say Dexter Lawrence is a liability in the run game because usually teams breaking off big runs against us is when he comes off the field. And the big runs are usually on the edges. Drew Lock overshot Jalen Hyatt right there. So the Giants will punt here on 4th and 5. I'm going to listen to the rest of this Dion video. And Dion said he's going to do the same thing for Travis as well. So the Giants will punt here. And it looks like somebody took a timeout. Yeah, let's see. So Dion is pretty much saying he wants somebody that can support him as a quarterback that's not going to just throw him out there to the dogs. Well, he's saying that neither one of these teams. I mean, he's basically neither one of these teams have what Dion is asking for. Like the Raiders or the Giants. We'll see. But from pretty much what he's describing is that, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't see the Raiders or the Giants fitting the criteria that I just heard Dion talk about. But yeah, I don't see any of these bottom of the league teams having that what he just described. So the only way that I can see that working is if he's saying like don't draft Shador and he's gonna go at like pick 12. Because let's see, we got New England. They're not taking a quarterback. Carolina's not taking a quarterback, and they don't fit that either. I mean, maybe you can say they can. Short throw from Derek Carr across the 22, 23. So the Jets, I mean, it's not like they've been a nice place for quarterbacks at all. Tennessee, not necessarily, but maybe you can say that what they've done with Levis. But I think they're going to move forward with Levis. Cleveland, absolutely not. New Orleans, maybe Maybe New Orleans. Maybe maybe he tells teams that he's not going anywhere but New Orleans or Dallas. But Dallas is they have Dak. They just paid him. So I just don't see any team that he described as far as like having a team that has had recent success that can deal with the type of quarter. I just don't see it. I don't see it. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes they're going to take whoever they're going to take, and it's just like, are you going to hold out? Are you going to hold out and not play? Because I mean, I guess Dion's son can afford to hold out, but I think he loves football too much to hold out. So we'll see. And there goes Derek Carr missing a wide open guy. You said you felt like Dion was talking to you personally. Yeah. The thing is, I agree with you nicking around. I think a lot of fans in New York are already ready to like completely eviscerate and hate Shador Sanders because they don't like that he held his watch up and made a song. I I definitely agree with that. So maybe Dion is looking at that and saying like, no, we can't do that. But at the same time, this is the NFL, and a lot of their fans aren't going to appreciate that. Like a lot of their fans aren't going to appreciate perfect timing. Like they're not going to appreciate his attitude if they're not winning. Shador can go anywhere, and as long as he wins, the fans are going to love him. If he loses, they're going to say, he's rapping, he's holding up his watch, he's cocky, he's spoiled. But if he wins, it is what it is. But I mean, if all of that is going on, then I mean the Giants just won't draft him. I mean, we'll just draft Cam Ward. Derek Carr taking a deep shot, and there's a flag down. Giants are giving up free points. Giants giving up free points. So Giants fans from New York City love him. These Jersey fans, yeah, 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 yeah. It's always this person in Manahawkin, this person this person in the poker. I mean, it's always, and that's not even Jersey, but it's always somebody in Jersey calling in that's angry on the fan. I mean, it is what it is there. But I mean, there's no place that Shador is gonna go where the fans aren't gonna attack him just because of who he is. And the entire league is gonna be rooting for him to fail, including people on his own team. I wonder how yeah, the Pennsylvania and Jersey fans is what I'm talking about. I wonder how guys like Charlie, like Charlie on Twitter, same Charlie that calls in the Big Blue Kickoff Live. I wonder how those guys will react when we have a new quarterback. Like if they'll constantly be like trashing a quarterback, or if they'll be open to the new quarterback. Here we go, 50, 60 yard attempt here, and that ball got tipped. It got blocked. Yeah, Casey Rogers blocked that kick. Giants 86 total yards. Eight negative plays for the Saints, one negative play for the Giants. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. Both of these teams stink. And it's crazy the Giants almost took the lead from that punt return. That may have won us the game. Um, that's funny. He said if I wasn't already subbed to your channel, I'd click on this video just for the title. Yeah, these are the two worst teams in the league. I don't know. The Raiders are actually out there competing in a game. Like, there's no way. there's absolutely no way that the Giants will be in that game against the Bucks because we just played them. They just picked off Baker Mayfield. Man, Baker Mayfield just threw a red zone interception. Um, Raiders picked it off and nailed out. Went into the end of the half. They're down 10-14 now. Take a look at the Jags. Jags are still down 0-3 to the Titans. They're in the third quarter. Maybe I should pull up this Jags game while we're waiting. Maybe I should pull up this Jags game real quick while we're waiting. Let's see, we got 19 viewers. I'm not able to even see the viewers the same way I usually am. Time to bring out the dumpster fire background. There we go. We're at halftime. Okay. Okay, let's see, folks. Let's see if we can make it happen. Let's see if we can make it happen. So we're gonna grab the dumpster fire background. There we go. Cool. We're going to. I wonder if they're showing like all of this stuff. It looks like my stream is real behind. Let me copy this one here. Copy. Live stream. Paste that in there. Boom. Dumpster fire. Let's see. I might need to manipulate this a little bit, just so we can. That's not what I want. I'll put this as a. Looks like I need to do some cropping. Okay, let's see. Y'all seeing this in real time. We got to throw the dumpster fire up there. Start this here. Boom. All right. Okay. Let's pull this in a little bit. It's the best I can do right now. But that's a good idea. I might bring that back every week. I might bring that back every week. I don't know. Am I like so far behind? And like okay. Okay, because I wasn't live for a second. I was like, am I like 2 minutes behind? Am I like, is it that much of a delay? But I just wasn't live. Okay. Our wide receivers might. Yeah, if Malik Nabers doesn't get a quarterback next year, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Time to bring out the dumpster fire background. If Levis can't get 2 touchdowns and 200 yards against the worst pass defense in the league. Let's see. Yeah, the Titans still up. Titans still up 3-0 on the Jags. I mean, it's time to come back and win the game, Mac. We need Mac Jones to be great. But let me check the stats at halftime because I usually read them off. So Drew Lock, 6 for 19, 52 yards, and a sack. 2 rushes, 17 yards. Tyrone Tracy, 6 carries for 15 yards. I want Tyrone Tracy to get 100 yards, so he's going to need at least like one more 100-yard game. He's also the leading receiver, 19 yards. Malik Nabers, 17 yards. Daniel Bellinger, 16 yards. Only 3 people have caught passes today. That's crazy. And Tyrone Tracy has caught 3 of them. Look at the Saints. Derek Carr, 13 for 19, 118 yards. Alvin Kamara is 11 carries for 27 yards. He's getting shut down, which is just absolutely great for my fantasy team. Absolutely great for that. This is nuts, man. All right. We really need the Jaguars to come back because if all the Dion stuff is real and like he's like is honestly about the Giants that he doesn't want his team to go to, he doesn't want Shador to go to, then that means the Giants would only be able to take because he said he's doing the same thing for Shador. That means the Giants would only take they would only be able to take Cam Ward out of those top three players. You got to think in some order is going to be um, Shador Sanders, Cam Ward, and Travis Hunter. It's going to be one of those three. It's going to be one of those three that you take if you're in the top three. So if for some reason Deion Sanders hates the Giants and he thinks that they're going to ruin whatever player goes there, then you're going to only be able to select Cam Ward out of that three. And then, if you're not taking a quarterback, you got to go to Mason Graham or Will Johnson. You get like at that point your list is so small that you can only take one out of those three. So that means that if the Raiders for some reason had the number one pick, or for instance, if the let's see, if the Jags keep the number one pick and the Jets traded up to the number one pick to get that quarterback, then they took Cam Ward. So that means that at that point we wouldn't be able to take a quarterback. Yeah, like that would just mean that we wouldn't be able to take a quarterback at that point. But I just don't think the Giants are going to allow Deion Sanders to bully them and to not take. I think it'd just be a fight. I think it would just be a fight, and it would just be like we're taking his quarterback, or it'd just be like he doesn't want to be here that bad. We're not taking him, and at that point you're just you got bad luck. Started wearing your paper bag 3 years ago, 4 games ago. I don't know why I said 3 years. Let's see if I can take. No, I can't take that out because of the pictures are actually on the thing. Yeah, I think I might end up stretching this out and having this as the background. The only problem is cutting people off. But once that gets fixed, I think I'm gonna have this as a background. Honestly though, if he doesn't want to be here, Cam Ward's a good. Yeah, I'm fine with Cam Ward. Shador is my number one quarterback, but I'm fine with Cam Ward too. And if not, then we probably got to take a guy at the end of the first round and just go best player available. Probably got to go Mason with that second or third or fourth pick or something, or Will Johnson, one of the Michigan guys. And then at the end of the first round, just go ahead and take a quarterback like Drew Allar or Milrow, who I don't really want, or Quinn Ewers, but I don't think he even goes in the end of the first round. I think he's like more of an end of the second round kind of guy because he's just so inconsistent. Not Carson Bench, Carson Beck. I was trying to fuse him with Carson Wentz, but Carson Beck at this point, and he just got injured. Who knows what's going on with him? And if he's healthy, I mean, I think he's a third rounder. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like the Raiders are gonna end up keeping this, even though they're kind of fighting in this game. I just have a feeling that the Raiders are gonna have a higher pick than us, and I hate to do this, I really do, but if Deion Sanders like is honestly like vetoing him coming to the Giants, it's one thing to veto your son going to the Chargers because like it's the Chargers. What are the Chargers like? When have the Chargers ever done anything? But if he's vetoing his son going to the Giants and he goes to the Raiders, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to root against him. I just have to, just off of principle. I'm gonna have to root against him. If he vetoes the Giants taking him, nah, man, no way. No way. I know my fantasy team is just doing great. I just know it. I just know they're doing great with Alvin Kamara not having any points because the Giants' run defense is all of a sudden good. Malik Nabers not doing anything. Brian Thomas Jr., I don't know what was going on with me. Why did I start him? Mac Jones can't get him the ball. Uh, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? Let's see if he has any catches today. He has 0 catches on 3 targets. I'm about to get multiple guys who have like 2 points today. I think the best scenario in the draft is whoever we have at GM is going to be able to select the quarterback that they most want. So if that means that they like Shador the most, then that means Shador. If not, then it means Cam. It is what it is there. But again, if he's vetoing stuff, man, like, I mean, it's not like it's the Jaguars or like the Raiders. I mean, let's look at the Raiders history. Let me ask Chat GPT. We're all gonna hear Chat GPT's answer. I'm gonna put it up to the mic after I ask the question because like this is disrespectful to just sit there and just say like, oh, the Raiders. I'd love for him to go to the Raiders because they're such a successful, storied franchise. So I'm about to pull this up and we're gonna ask Chat GPT who's a more prestigious fan base. I mean, who's a more prestigious franchise? Who's a more prestigious franchise, the Las Vegas Raiders or the New York Giants?
Both the Las Vegas Raiders and the New York Giants are prestigious franchises, but in different ways. The Giants have a longer history, established in 1925, and have won multiple Super Bowls, making them one of the NFL's most successful teams. The Raiders, founded in 1960, have a storied legacy with a passionate fan base, known for their rebellious image and 3 Super Bowl
Hey, I'm gonna
titles.
stop you right there. Which one is better?
If I had to pick, the New York Giants might be considered the
Exactly.
more
That's all I
prestigious.
needed. That's all I needed to hear. That's all I need to hear. Like he was going on about this and that. And I'm like, which one's better? The Giants are the better team. Like let's keep it real, man. You're gonna sit here and say, oh, like he can't go to the Giants, but he can go to the Raiders. But he can go to the Raiders. Come on now. Like you got Andrew Thomas at left tackle. You got Malik Nabers. You got Tyrone Tracy in the backfield. You got my man at right tackle, Illuminor playing lights out at right tackle. You're gonna probably bring in a vet guard at right guard. You got Runyon playing solid. John Michael Smith's being your weakest link is cool because did you see how they did you see how they were looking? No, it just said the Giants were the best franchise. It's like the Giant. It said the Giants were the better franchise if you had to pick one. But it's like you have pieces in place. Like to sit there and say that the Oakland Raiders or the formerly Oakland Raiders, they're most the first thing you think of when you think of the Raiders are people that are dressed up with football pads and their face painted. And John Madden. Tyrone Tracy just got lit up right there. 3rd and 3. Here we go. Here on 3rd and 3. 3 wide receivers left. Azudo at left tackle is crazy. Hand off to Tyrone Tracy. He's breaking tackles and he's getting about a half a yard. Tyron Matthew. Tyron Matthew still in the lead. That's Deion Sanders, one of his favorite players. Speaking of Deion. And John Runyon's hurt. Hey, wrap it up for the rest of the season, John. We need you next year. We need you next year, John. Wrap it up for the rest of the season. But that's what I'm saying. Like at the beginning of the season, the Giants' offensive line was like elite in pass pro, like all day long. So when Andrew Thomas gets back and Illuminor gets back at right tackle, and we get, we add a guy like Aaron Banks at right guard, the Giants' offensive line is going to be good. It's not even going to be just fine at that point. It's going to be good. Like, what is the first thing you think of when you think of the Raiders? You think of Crosby, right? Crosby is not helping out Shador. I got to see. Let's see what the Raiders roster's looking like. Now he does. He would have that freak at tight end. Brock Bowers. Let's see. You got Alexander Madison. I would say let's pull up the depth chart. Let's pull up the depth chart because like we're not going to do this here. Left tackle Colton Miller, Andrew Thomas. I give Andrew Thomas a hair over that. Jackson Powers Johnson. I give John Runyon the nod over him. Andre James. I give JMS the nod over him, even though I'm not really impressed with either. Dylan Parham, I would say is better than what we have now, but we can go out and get Aaron Banks. Right tackle DJ Glaze. Glaze is a crazy name. I would give us the edge at right tackle. Then you got Jacoby Myers. Can I interest you in Malik Nabers? And then you got Trey Tucker. I don't even know what that guy does, what he's about, but I understand that Brock Bowers is Brock Bowers is your number one guy for a reason. Um, no, I said, am I? Hold up. Yeah, that's why you got to add to the line. That's why you. I mean, Alexander. Like the reason I'm saying if Andrew Thomas didn't get hurt, we would be a good line because we showed it for like 6 weeks. And the thing is, our line never looked that good. Our line hasn't looked that good since like 2010. So guess what? You have your starting five. You got your starting five. So all you do is go get depth. You go get depth. This offseason, we're not looking for starting offensive linemen the same way we were last year. This offseason, we're looking for depth tackles. So yeah, you go out and get a depth tackle. You go out and get somebody that's better than Josh Azudu. So I don't think that's too crazy to do in an offseason. Get some depth on the line. Get some depth on the line at that point. So you add depth to the line so that way when these guys get hurt, they're not a complete train wreck. But when they're healthy, then they're dominant. As far as the pass pro, the run game, they had some issues at the beginning of the season. Now look at running back. We got it. We got the advantage at running back. Max Crosby, dog, better than any defensive end we got. John Jenkins. I mean, he's no Dexter Lawrence. Yeah, and that's something you got to think about too. With Andrew Thomas is like, do you want to start thinking about replacing him? Because not replacing him because he's that good, but also like having like a real insurance policy. And when I say that, like you're gonna go out and get Aaron Banks. Well, I think we're gonna go out and get Aaron Banks because he's the best guard on the market. He will really be a stabilizer. But I think you draft a tackle in like the top 3 rounds. And hopefully, if you actually have a good coach, a good GM, you actually get a tackle that's decent. And I think you draft that tackle, and you maybe start him off at guard, like maybe a guy like Everett from LSU, and you get him in here. I think he's a starting guard, but he can also play tackle on a pinch. Basically, what Azudu was supposed to be, except actually good. Um, but looking at the Raiders roster, I don't see much difference between their roster and our roster, to be honest. And I think we have a uh, much better offensive line. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, AT gets hurt every year, so that's what I'm saying. Like you might have to go out and get a guy that's a solid option for when he inevitably goes out. But we don't need a starting center because nicking around, if you remember, when the guys around him were playing decent football, JMS was playing good football. Like when everybody like it's a chain reaction. When Andrew Thomas is that dominant, John Runyan does not have to worry about helping his left tackle at all. So that way he's helping out your center all day. So JMS wasn't having issues. When JMS is being helped out by John Runyan, and Illuminor is playing lights out, guess what? They picked up a first down there. But when GVR doesn't have to worry about the center, and he doesn't have to worry about the right tackle, he can pretty much do what he needs to do. He doesn't have to worry about all that help. So it's a chain reaction with Andrew Thomas going out. That's why we need, I agree, we need some depth. But to say that, when we roll out our starting line, it's not, that's better than we can say for the last 10 years. Because our starting line has never been as good as they were at the beginning of this season. They had Daniel Jones out there like patting the ball, just chilling. This dude just fumbled the ball. I think JMS is a slightly below. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's decent if you put some guards around him. But, you just got to go out there and the thing is, nicking around, I agree. You definitely can go out there and upgrade, but also it's like you have a slightly below average center, but you have an issue as far as your depth. So I want to go out and get guard and tackle depth, as much guard and tackle depth as I can. Because I think that's more of a need than the center, because when he has competent guys around him, he's decent. Who was that came through? Kayvon Thibodeau put a hit on Derek Carr. That's what I'm saying. I think we have more pressing needs than JMS. I just think once we stabilize the stuff around him, and also the line's gonna. Look at how the line's playing today. The line has been given Drew Lock time today, and this is with Azudu and Evan Neal out there. So the line is, we're able to operate with this line. Not of course against one of the better fronts in the league, but against this team, this line is not like selling the game. This Giants defense is playing hard, man. And that's going to come back. That was like offensive pass interference or holding. But yeah, we need some secondary help. We need some defensive tackle help, which is why I would love to get Mason Graham if we don't get a quarterback. Or maybe go out and get Will Johnson. But I think the Giants situation is better as far as the overall team. Now, if you want to say like you think that John Mara and the Giants, they're not going to be welcoming to Shador's personality, then Dion might have a point at that point. But I don't think that they would draft him if they're not going to be welcoming of it. Like, I don't think that they would like if they have such an issue with like perfect timing and like they have an issue and they're like, I don't want to ever see you putting your watch up, then I think at that point they would know, because I don't think Shador is like a guy that's going to go in there and lie. I think Shador Sanders would say, if you don't like me, I'm going to still do it. I think Shador Sanders would say something like that, and I think they would just say he's off our board. So, we'll see, obviously. In, whatever, 6-7 months, we'll see. Or what is that, 5 or 6 months, more likely. More like it. So sick of decent. We get our size, our skills, and our coach. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think adding Aaron Banks is going to help that. But I really wish Andrew Thomas could stay healthy, because that dude's our MVP. Oh my, why is Trey Hawkins doing this at this point? Why are we doing this at this point? But shout out to Trey Hawkins, man. Because that was basically a punt. That was basically a punt. But I'm glad to see that from Trey Hawkins, even though I gave up on him. Hopefully he can be a cornerback for us. But that's a nice play. Shout out to Trey Hawkins. I used to argue when people would say we're the Jets. Yeah, at this point, I mean, we are. There's no difference. I mean, we're the Jets, but with prestige. That's really the difference. But about 4 or 5 more years of how bad we've been for the last 10, at that point, we can't even lean on the Super Bowls. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Silent Chris. If people believe that, I could understand why Dion wouldn't want him to go there. But like I said, I think if they're upset about Shador as a person and his character or whatever they will be upset with Shador about, I feel like they just wouldn't draft him. The thing is, Trey Hawkins probably should have been starting over the guys that we had in there. Cause I'm always like, at this point in the season, I'm like, what do I even make film sessions about? Like, I think I recorded a Theo Johnson film session. I'm like, I didn't even upload it, but I'm like, maybe I'll upload it to the members section. But I mean, it's like, what do I even make videos about as far as like film sessions? Because nobody wants to hear about what happened during the week, what happened in the game. Like they're like after the game goes off, they don't want to see anything about it. Like some people say like, "Oh, you Giants content creators have been, profiting off of the losses, and you're like are excited to make clickbait titles." But I mean, when the Giants lose in like an exciting way, yeah, you can kind of get a spike because you'll see like teams that are like you'll see fan bases that want to see Giants fans mad. But once you get past like 5, 6 weeks of losing, and it's like they lose every single week, people just start to not care, including their own fan base. At least Hawkins saved us from breaking a bad record. Yeah. Super Bowls are gone in my mind. I barely remember winning seasons anymore. Yeah, I mean, I made a video a couple days ago where I think it was like Tom Coughlin getting snubbed, and like from 2005 to 2012, we didn't have a losing season. We didn't even have a losing season from 05 to 12. So, like me growing up as like a kid, Drew Lock taking a deep shot and he's overthrowing it to Slayton. But Kool-Aid McKinstry's having a decent game. But what was I saying? Yeah, from me being like an actual kid, we didn't necessarily have bad seasons. Like it was 8-8 at worst. It was 8-8 at worst. John ran with an ankle. It looked like it might have been a shoulder, but hopefully he's okay. So I don't know who's even in there at this point. Here you go, Tyrone Tracy with another drop, his second drop in the backfield. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, TD Midas. I mean, I'm 20, I'm 27. So, I mean, like I said, as a kid, and like '05, when I didn't even know really what was going on, the Giants were still winning games. Uh, but '05 to 2012 is like my glory years as a Giants fan because we got the two Super Bowls. We were always relevant. We were always in it. I know y'all remember that season, the miracle at the Meadowlands where and Wandale Wright with a nice catch. But the season that we lost out because the punt return, but we went 10-6. We went 10-6 and lost out on the playoffs that year. RG3 fumbled the football forward that year, and like they gave them forward progress, and Pierre Garcon picked it up. 1 for 9 on third down today. The Giants are 3rd and 2. Looks like the Saints are not scared of us going deep at all. Decent pass pro. Drew Lock. Drew Lock tried to throw a pick and it just didn't work out. Difference is we believed in Eli when this team barely. Yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference. It's like when we missed the playoffs or made the playoffs, it was like we never, like, even at the end of Eli's career, we were like, oh, end the game, he's got it. Like, we're winning. And we haven't felt like that for a long time, and it's crazy. And like I said, a lot of Giants fans are trying to backtrack, and like they're trying to pretend like they weren't calling for Eli's job in like 2012. Like they're trying to really pretend like they weren't calling for his job long before he even started to show signs of decline. And let's be honest, Eli could have played longer than he did. He could have played longer than he did if it weren't for, guys like Eric Flowers and John Jerry and Marshall Newhouse, like horrible, horrible offensive linemen. Like Eli Manning had Nate Solder looking like a serviceable starter. Like the dude was stepping up in the pocket, and like Nate Solder was out there blocking. Like he was stepping up in the pocket, like making Nate Solder look solid. Daniel Jones gets in there with Nate Solder, can't maneuver the pocket, and Nate Solder looks like the worst tackle of all time. Like the quarterback matters so much, and people were trying to run this guy out of the building for the last like 8 years of his career, and now these same people are like pretending that they weren't doing that, and now everybody was an Eli fan. Nobody was like rooting for him to get out of here. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nicking around like they wanted Eli gone. They wanted him gone. Like there was no it was no ifs ands or buts about it. They wanted him out of town. There was constantly people upset because he would throw interceptions and they're like he's horrible, especially in 2013. Because if you watch that 2013 season, out of Eli's 27 interceptions, at least 18 or 19 of them were off of receivers' hands, which is like the most like Brandon Myers was out there playing volleyball, like just punching the ball up into the air. Hakeem Nicks was punching the ball up in the air. Ruben, like all of them were just throwing the ball up in the air. And like I've never seen that many interceptions be off of drop passes. But let's see. It looked like I missed something. Yeah, Digital Man said I'm old and I've seen bad coaches and players. Dave Brown, Ray Hanley, but this regime has not. Yeah, a lot of Giants fans and like maybe like back in like what 2019, 2020, 2021, they were saying like, this is nothing compared to like the 70s. Or this is nothing, they were saying like this is nothing compared to this because we had real bad players at that point. But now at this point, we have gone on the worst stretch in our franchise's history. At this point, no, Hakeem Nicks definitely did that. I'm not saying he was a bad player, but he definitely in 2013 when Hakeem Nicks had the bum knee and the bum ankle on opposite legs, he was dropping passes and they were going up in the air. But yeah, this is the worst. This is the worst stretch in Giants history. ESPN hates the Giants, and even they had to do that special saying how most of those picks weren't his fault. Yeah. Playoff win was the worst thing for this regime because now Shane walks around like he's Joe Shane walks around like he's won like 6 Super Bowls. Yeah, Hakeem Nicks was my favorite player to be honest. One of my favorite players. Hakeem Nicks, Samar Bradshaw, both of those guys were like top tier my favorite players, and Terrell Thomas too because not necessarily because he was like the best corner in the league. I just liked watching Terrell Thomas play back in the day. Um, and he just kept getting hurt, man. That was horrible. Kenny Phillips, another guy that kept getting hurt. I mean, Alvin Kamara has been put in the box by the Giants defense today. Like they just got this dude like shut down. I can't wait to see what the post game presser is gonna be for Malik Nabers. He's gonna be pissed. He's gonna be pissed, and they're gonna run to his locker. Joe's done an okay job, not good. I would say his first season is a wash. It was horrible. Um, Even though I don't say he made the wrong decisions because everybody would take in Thibodeau and Neal. The second season, um, no, no, not good at all, not good at all. The third season, I would say it's looking like he's got Malik Nabers. He looks like he got Tyrone Tracy. But other than that, um, you know, jury's out. Drew Phillips looks decent, but I don't necessarily think he looks decent as a coverage corner more than like good in a run game. So, we'll see. Yeah, and I mean, it has to go on Dable too, because if you do have two guys that are top seven consensus picks, and Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau, then why are they both not what we expected? Both of them? Like, there has to be some coaching attached to that. Yeah, Drew's had some good games, but I'm not convinced to say like he's a slam dunk pick yet because I haven't seen it consistently. PFF has him like graded through the roof, but Brian Burns with some pursuit right there, making Derek Carr miss a wide open guy. As long as the Saints get a field goal here, I think we're safe to lose this game. I'm blaming them both, but Joe is the one picking the players. Yeah, I would put more of it on Joe Shane because if you look at Brian Dable, there's been some players that I've thought should have developed that haven't developed, but also year one, and we win. I think what 9 games. So year one we win 9 games. We overachieved. Year two we win 6 games in spite of everybody under the sun being hurt. Like year two, we win all of those games. Andrew Thomas hurt for a lot of the year. Saquon hurt for a lot of the year. Daniel Jones was out for the majority of the year. They had Tommy DeVito out there. There were a ton of hurt guys out there, and we still won 6 games. And Tyrod Taylor made a horrible decision on the goal line. We could have won 7 games. So Brian Dable has outcoached the team the last 2 years, but this year he hasn't. And I think partially it's because he took over play calling. I think part of that is him taking over play calling. I don't know why this backup running back is looking better than Kamara. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't replace the leader. And then you look at guys this year. I mean, I think this year the thing is a lot of players got worse. Deontay Banks got worse. Um, Bobby Okereke got much worse. Dex started off better, but didn't necessarily. Why is Kamara being shut down? Like this is frustrating. Sam Darnold cooking. Oh my God, Sam Darnold is cooking. Y'all really don't peep how Dable only coaches well when he feels his job is on the line. He coached his butt off his rookie year. Once he won his award. Yeah, Dable's done some crazy stuff. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I'm saying. I got Kamara in fantasy right now, and I got Malik Nabers in fantasy. Oh, look at the tight end. He caught the ball with one hand, and I thought he was gonna run in. That was a tough play though. Yeah, that's game. That's game. They're about to score. I'm gonna tell you right now, Digital Man, why I wouldn't rather have 2-6 because right now he would have done nothing but mess up this tank. He did not. He wouldn't have been anywhere close to having 2,000 yards, not even 1,500 yards here. And on top of that, we would have won just enough games to not tank. Daniel Jones would have still been in the lineup. We would have won like 7 games, and we would have went into another season with Daniel Jones. The best thing for everybody is that this team went out there and embarrassed themselves this year. Now, like I said, my only regret is not letting Saquon walk, but it's letting him walk for nothing and not making sure that he didn't go in a division. Oh yeah, it's gonna cost them jobs, but I mean, I want both of them gone either way. Um, I think what's gonna happen is I think they're gonna fire Joe Shane. I mean, I think they're gonna fire Brian Dable and keep Joe Shane, which is gonna be frustrating. I would like them to bring in a fresh new quarterback, fresh new GM, fresh new head coach. Go out there and sign Jameis Winston as insurance and free agency or something. Oh yeah, this is all Daniel Jones' fault. This is all Daniel Jones' fault, man. Did you see how he played today? This is all his fault. But yeah, bring in new head coach, new general manager, new quarterback. Start fresh. Start fresh right there. So I mean, I think that's the only way everybody can be evaluated properly. Because when you have a new head coach and an old GM, that GM is not making the proper picks for 3 years out. The head coach is not make is trying to build a roster, build a culture, but the GM is trying to fix everything right now. The quarterback, if he's not picked by that GM and coach, he's not their guy. Yeah, I hope, like I said, hopefully the Panthers hold on and beat the Eagles because at that point, they're gonna have to play against us. They're gonna have to play against us. But they just scored, so there you go. Jalen Hurts to Calcaterra for a 4-yard touchdown. Oh yeah. Um, I don't want Winston as a long-term starter, but I think he's a solid guy to have as a bridge. Um, or just a backup to your rookie quarterback. I don't think we're going to do anything with him, but I think he'd be a solid bridge. Um, we don't need to clean house. We just need a new head coach who can get the best of the players. So you think you want to keep Shane Alexander? Let's see. What's Saquon at? Saquon at 107 yards today. Saquon has more rushing yards than Jalen Hurts has passing yards. Jalen Hurts is 11 for 17 for 77 and 2 touchdowns. Saquon is 16 carries, 107, no touchdowns. Honestly, I think this team looks completely. Yeah, I think they look. Like I said, if you look at the Commanders franchise, if you look at their franchise, and you look at the offensive line and the defense, if you look at everybody on the Commanders, people were thinking that the Commanders will win like 4 games this year, even with decent quarterback play, because their roster is just not good. But if you get the right quarterback, that makes it makes every part of your team better. It makes every part of your team better. It gives your defense more juice. It gives them rest because you're not constantly coming off the field. It gives obviously makes the receivers better, makes the offensive line better. All of that stuff gets better when you had the right quarterback. That's why like I push back when people say we don't need to take a quarterback this year. We need to build the team out. It's like part of building the team out is getting the right quarterback. Or at least trying to get the right quarterback. Because I have no shame in taking a quarterback, and if he looks horrible, go out and take another guy the next year. So yeah, Joe Shane got us out of cap issues with a lot of talent on the team, coaching staff. on both sides doesn't always put their players in the best positions to win. I mean, that's a good argument. Um, I will say that if Joe Shane does get fired, the next GM is going to come here with a lot better of a situation. Like, for instance, Joe Shane got here with basically no cap space. Whoever will get here in this offseason, or not, or if Shane stays here, we're going to have $60 million in cap space. Like I said, franchise left tackle under contract, franchise D tackle under contract. You got Brian Burns, who's a good player. I think he'll be good next year. Under better circumstances. You got some pieces. You might have Darius Slayton, the option to resign him. You got Malik Nabers. There goes Wandale underneath. But you have some pieces here and some money and a high pick. So I think this is a good environment for a new GM to go to, and you can't say that Gettleman left the franchise as good as Joe Shane may leave it. But my issue with Joe Shane is this, and I'm gonna pull up all of Joe Shane's draft picks. Wandale has so many catches on third down, but none of them go for first downs. Okay. I got to look at all of his draft picks. I got to read them off because when you look at his draft picks, it just kind of shows that he's had a ton of misses. A ton of, like, you just can't afford to have these kind of misses. So Kayvon Thibodeau, good player, but not what you thought that he would be. I don't think he'll ever be that level of player. Evan Neal, no, horrible player. Wandale Robinson, okay, but you could have had George Pickens. Cordell Flott, okay for a third round pick, but he's a high third round pick. Daniel Bellinger, he's not going to be on this roster next year probably. Dane Belton, there goes Drew Lock making another decent play. Dane Belton, okay, for a fourth round pick, but he's not anything but a reserve safety, which is okay out of a fifth round pick. DJ Davison, I would say, is nice out of a fifth round pick because he's a borderline rotational guy. Marcus McKeithen never played for us, is off the roster. Darian Beavers is off the roster. Deontay Banks, jury's still out. Jury's still out on Deontay Banks, but at the same time, it's not looking good for us. JMS was looked at to be a really good center, a second round pick, and we're getting about third, fourth round pick. What is Drew Lock doing? Okay, he's actually doing something good. But anyway, JMS is playing like a fourth round pick, being honest with you. Jalen Hyatt playing like an undrafted free agent. Eric Gray playing like an undrafted free agent in the fourth round. Trey Hawkins, fifth round pick, playing like an undrafted free agent, but a good one. So, fifth round pick, that's fine. Jordan Riley, I would say that's decent. Javarius Owens is gone. That's a seventh round pick, so who cares? So I don't know why they're not showing the Zudu pick. I skipped. Yeah, the Zudu pick to me is egregious. Because if you look at his third round picks, you got Josh Zudu, you got Wandale Robinson, you got Jalen Hyatt, and Tyrone Tracy was in. I thought Tyrone Tracy was a fourth round pick. I could have sworn he was a fourth round pick. We did not take Tyrone Tracy in the third round, did we? Was he a third round pick? Yeah, it was a fifth round pick. ChatGPT is tripping. They're telling me he's a third round pick. They just put Jalen McMillan in. Yeah, they're tripping for this newest draft. But either way, who do we take in the third round this year? Andrew Phillips, I think. So your third round picks have been not good. Your third round picks have been awful. Your fourth round picks have been awful. Your fifth round picks for some reason have been somewhat decent, but you're just not getting enough out of your first, second, and third round picks. That's really what it comes down to, because it's looking like now Deonte Banks and JMS are not really good contributors. Jalen Hyatt is not a contributor at all. Um, it's looking like the best player in the 2023 NFL draft for the Giants is JMS, who's just solid, and then it will be Trey Hawkins. Like, so I mean, it's not looking good. Yeah, JMS was it was between JMS and Joe Tipman, but Joe Tipman looks like a Pro Bowl center. He looked like a Pro Bowl player. So I wouldn't say it was a weak center draft because Tipman is a Pro Bowl player. Um, just didn't get him, and I can't remember if he went before or after JMS. When did he get drafted? Second round. Joe Tipman got drafted with the 43rd overall pick. John Michael. He got drafted with the let's see. He got drafted with the 26th overall pick. So Joe Tipman went much later than JMS. And we missed out on Joe Tipman. Again, missed out on George Pickens, even though he's a nutcase, but missed out on him for Wan'Dale Robinson. I'd rather deal with George Pickens being a nutcase than having Wan'Dale Robinson catch these passes on third down and not even get first downs. And with that catch, Malik Nabers is our leading receiver today. 31 yards. I mean, they got all the safeties down in the box. Tyrone Tracy for about 3 yards. Uh, I don't think he was the higher rated receiver. I don't think he was, man. I remember there being a lot of backlash there. Um, but we can pull up some draft boards. Draft board 2022. There goes Drew Lock fading away, overthrowing it. Um, yeah, he might have gone crazy, but who knows? It might have been a catastrophe if he was in New York. And I mean, it's just crazy looking at this draft board. Um, Evan Neal was number 6. Kayvon Thibodeau was number 7. Thibodeau was an elite first step combined with an ideal frame for the position. I mean, it's just crazy because Thibodeau has tried to turn himself into a power rusher when his first step was ridiculous, and that's just gone. He's tried to reinvent himself. um, Charles Cross having an elite season this year. Evan Neal, not so much. Evan Neal, the mammoth, 6'7", 350-pounder, is one of the most imposing specimens ever to grace this planet, and he moves like a man 50 pounds lighter. He's allowed 24 pressures over the last 2 years between left and right tackle. Those were slam dunk picks. Oh, something caused Pickens to drop. It was because he's crazy. That's why. Um, let's see what we got here. Let's see. You got Scott Moore. You got Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Jameson Williams. I'm just listing off some of the wide receivers. George Pickens at 28. And Let's see. Traylon Burks after George Pickens. Jalen Tolbert, Jahan Dotson. Let's see. John Mechie, Christian Watson, Kyle Phillips. Oh man, Calvin Austin, Danny Gray. I don't even know who Danny Gray is. Romeo Dobbs, Khalil Shakir. Who else? Let's see. Wandale Robinson. So Wandale Robinson is like the 13th best wide receiver or 14th best wide receiver according to this board. Robinson is one of the best gadget players in the class and can be a vertical weapon out of the slot. Well, it is what it is. There, they got David Bell. They got a bunch of guys above him. That's crazy. But taking him in the second round was kind of crazy because we use him as if he's like a oh my god, I can't do it. So the Giants will punt down 14-3. 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Here we go. Another flag. Gillen got hit. Yeah, Wandale is Dable's fault. Uh, the GM makes the picks. I understand where you're going with that, but the GM makes the picks because you can say that the head coach has everything. Like the head coach has input on every single pick. Like there's no way that the GM is just going out there picking guys unless the head coach, the offensive coordinator, the D coordinator is saying that that they want that player. So yeah, it's his fault too, but also the GM makes the picks. So it's running into the kicker instead of roughing the kicker. Yeah, like I said, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's pretty much, and there goes Dable taking his hat off. That is so sad that he's gonna go out like that. Brian Dable, I think Brian Dable at this point has like done enough to get himself fired, but at the same time, I think he's a good coach, and it's just unfortunate. It's not gonna work out here because I think he's a good coach, and I think just the situation in general has just zapped everything out of him. And he's gonna go somewhere next year, and some young quarterback is gonna be balling out, and he'll get another shot in like 3 years, and he'll probably do well. If memory serves me correctly, that's the year we wanted to take JSN in late first round, but couldn't. Um, I don't think that was the same year. I don't think that was the same year. JSN came out in the. Let's see. He came out in the draft with that I like better for receivers. I think he came out in the Jamar Chase draft. Let's see. Yeah, he came out. He didn't come out in the Jamar Chase draft, but he came out in the 2023 draft. So that was a year after Wandale. I think Wandale will be a good player if he had like somebody like Tom Brady, somebody that was an accurate quarterback throwing in the ball, like that could hit him in stride consistently because his catch radius is so small that it's like impossible if you're not an accurate quarterback to play with him. Yeah, I was saying like forget Kenny Galladay. We need to go all out to get Jamar Chase, and people were saying Jamar Chase is a rookie. He's not as good as Kenny Galladay, and I mean look at what's going on there. We could have done anything but take Kenny Galladay. Not to say that I didn't want to, because I wanted Kenny Galladay too. That was back when I was like, we need to get Daniel Jones some weapons so he can step back into his position as a great quarterback. And boy, was I wrong. According to Mr. Glass Half Full from New York Giant Revival on Twitter, he says the two most prominent chants he's hearing in the stadium is sell the team and JETS Jets. Yeah, we could have had Christian Gonzalez. We could we could have had Christian. I mean, we could have had a lot of guys. Um, looking at, let me pull up the actual draft now because I just was looking at the big boards, but let me pull up the draft because I just know I'm gonna be sick when I look at who got drafted after Wan'Dale Robinson. Let's see, Wan'Dale Robinson. Right after that, John Mechie went. Then David Ojabo. Then Josh Pascal. Then Fedarian Mathis. Then eventually George Pickens goes. Alec Pierce goes. Scott Moore goes. Sam Williams to the Cowboys. He hasn't done much. The second round wasn't that good of a round, to be honest with you. That makes me feel better. Second round wasn't that good of a round. You got George Pickens out of it. I guess you can say Cam Jurgens. Yeah, Brees Hall went before him. Christian Watson went at the top of the second round. Yeah, so the second round wasn't even that good. This staff wouldn't have been able to handle Pickens. I don't think so either. I agree. But he was a better player, in my opinion. My problem is Josh Azudu. I think that's by far Joe Shane's worst pick. To spend a premium third round pick on Josh Azudu. Let's see what they said. Azudu was a head scratching pick based on value, but he does feel a potential need for interior offensive line depth and future starters value for the G-men. But there were 5 guards ranked higher on my board at this point in the draft. And that's my thing is Azudu was drafted to play guard. And he has not gotten to play guard. And now Trey Hawkins is hurt. But Azudu has not been able to play guard. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. Yo was good. Like, we have not even gotten to see him at his right position. Abraham Lucas, the tackle, is a much better offensive lineman and is an actual tackle that went, 5 picks after him? Man. Let's see. Cordell Flott went in the middle of the third round. Rashad White went a little bit after that. Yeah, Trey Hawkins is kind of slow to get up here. Leo Chenal, a dog at linebacker, went at the end of the third round. Brian Robinson Jr. went a little bit earlier than that. Yeah, the 2022 draft wasn't an amazing draft. But there were players that should have gone that didn't go. Like Dylan Parham probably was a better. I just don't know. I just don't know why we decided to draft Azudu and never play him at guard is crazy to me. No snaps at guard, you're just going to waste the pick. He's going to go into year 4 now, next year, and it's going to be he's never played his actual position he was supposed to play. And they can say because it was injured. No, but before that, there was a spot at guard for him to win, and we never played him there. We brought in GVR, so it's like I just don't get it. We'll never know because the guy's so athletic. Could have been an amazing pulling guard for us, but we'll never know. And I'm sure he'll probably be cut next year or be on a practice. Who knows? Yeah, but Abraham Lucas, if he was the pick there, he's dealt with injuries too. But he's a better he's a better player. Then we take Daniel Bellinger, and then a pick after that we take Dane Belton. So I like the Daniel Bellinger pick. We just have not used them. Jake Ferguson went a little bit after, so that's kind of disappointing because Ferguson looks like a monster. Romeo Dobbs could have been a possible pick, but he's not really that special. But he's a fourth rounder though, so would have been decent. Um, yeah, nothing else really going on that round. Let's see. Look how long Tomlin kept AB under wraps. Eric Flowers too. Giants hate seeing. Yeah. Um, Third and 18. Kamara breaking the tackle. Kamara up the middle, and he's 2 yards short. That time he got 16 yards, clearing out some of that deficit he's at with all those negative plays. Um, yeah, that's a good point. Like I said, I will agree with you all that him being on the Steelers definitely makes a difference because we don't have a Mike Tomlin here. We don't have a Mike Tomlin here at coach that would keep him in line. So with 10 minutes left, the Giants are going to try to stage a comeback, but I doubt it'll happen, and that'll be good. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about after this game because I haven't even really been able to follow it because it's just like a simulation of what has always happened. Let's see. To be fair, Mike Tomlin was kind of losing it too after the bad calls. I'm not gonna lie to you. But Mike Tomlin again I mean, I think he's a lot more calming and just an all around better coach. All around better coach than what we've had. Empty set for Drew Lock, 5 wide, getting rid of it to Malik Nabers, who almost breaks the tackle and then goes down. Yeah, I think Malik Nabers is really struggling with the groin because, yeah, I think he's really struggling with the groin because he's nowhere near explosive as he was in college. Even with the bad quarterback play, some of the explosion is just not there. So I'm thinking we may see a different Malik Nabers next year once he gets to kind of heal all that stuff. Hey, you right about that, Nico? You right about that. I mean, no losing seasons. I mean, that's again what Tom Coughlin did that for what 7 years. Mike Tomlin's done it for 18 years as far as not having a losing season. So like that's unfathomable. 18 years of no losing. Like the Steelers fans cannot complain about anything. Like in their disaster seasons, like we went 8-8, like or we went 9-8, like or 9-8 last year, 9-7 before. Second and 7 coming up. Listen, we need JMS coming off the field. JMS coming off the field. This is crazy. Yeah, Darren Waller, I feel bad for him. Well, one, because he was always hurt, but also when he was playing, he could have gotten a lot more out of his last season as a pro. Drew Lock hitting Bellinger. Theo Johnson out for the season. AT out for the season. Dex out for the season. Man, look at Sam Darnold, man. It's like as we get closer and closer to the off season, it's like are the Vikings gonna honestly be able to get rid of Sam Darnold and like be okay with their fans? Tommy D. Tommy. Tommy, one thing Tommy will do is take a sack. Malik Nabers looks so annoyed. Tommy DeVito came in and handed the ball off and came back out. Okay. Okay. Anyway, 2nd and 9. Drew Lock got some time. He's taking a shot and he's undershooting it to Malik Nabers, and Malik Nabers is annoyed. I mean, I feel bad for this guy. I really do. I really feel bad for him. There's no way I could do it. Darnold's been balling all year, but it is smart that DJ went there. But the thing that stinks though is that if Darnold were to leave, like DJ has to be hoping for Sam Darnold to like. There we go. There's Drew Lock taking off, but DJ has to be hoping for Darnold to like crash and burn in the first round in a wild card because that's the only way the Vikings won't bring him back at this point. Because if Darnold, oh man, if Darnold goes out there and like embarrasses himself in the wild card round, then they're moving on from him. That way, DJ will probably get the first 2 or 3 games next year. See what he can do. Now, if Darnold wins like 2 playoff games, it's curtains for JJ. He's never gonna play there. He's never gonna play there because Darnold's like 27. So it's not like Darnold's gonna play 2 years and retire. Like he's like 27. So that's gonna be their quarterback. There goes Slay, picking up a first. Here we go. Sacked. Oh my god, he got crushed right there by that short wide guy. Just crushed Drew Lock. Here we go. Drew Lock back again. He tried to throw another interception. Just a reminder that Lock is 14 for 31 with 114 in the fourth. Let's see. It's just so funny that his name is Drew Lock, and like I think he got drafted like right after Andrew Luck retired, and it was like Drew Lock, Andrew Luck. All of that mess with Kelsey Plum, yeah. A reminder: Giants fans said we should have drafted Haskins and Drew Lock. Yeah, rest in peace, Haskins. But um, I mean, the move the Giants should have made, if we want to play hindsight, is probably taking Josh Allen, like a lot of people wanted. Josh Allen, the edge rusher, Josh Hines Allen, and just building the roster out, and then going in and getting Herbert. Use Eli as one more year. Go get Herbert. That's a nice catch there from Wandale. But yeah, they should have just drafted Josh Allen Hines and Josh Hines Allen, and then gone and got Herbert. Exactly. Yeah, we should have taken Mahomes. I'm still not convinced that Ben McAdoo. Yeah, no, he didn't get in the end zone. He didn't get in the end zone. No. Oh man, I needed Malik in the end zone. I needed Malik in the end zone, man. I don't want to see a quarterback sneak. Drew Lock does not deserve a touchdown. Yeah, I think that was our only shot. I think that was our only shot is him getting the touchdown. I think that was it. Let's see. That's the real beauty of the draft is though finding late round gems. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, can we get Malik in the end zone, man? It's been like way too long. It's been way too much time. This is gonna be a draw to Tyrone Tracy, most likely. Tracy short. Tracy short. Listen, they're gonna keep running it, but I want them to throw a touchdown to Malik Nabers. Let's see, because Leak is at what? He's got 3 touchdowns this year. 4 touchdowns, I feel like is like the floor. They call it a touchdown. Did you hear the crowd explode like that? Like they're that excited that we scored a touchdown. Well, there you go. Touchdown. If the Giants came back and won this game, I honestly don't know what I would do. It's also nuts to me that I can't get this to line up the way I want it to. All right, 2 point conversion. That's got to be fake noise. You right? Intercepted. Oh, Malik Nabers caught that and scored. At least we got the 2 points, man. At least we got the 2 points. At least we got the 2 points. I we better not win this game. I'm gonna be so annoyed. I'm gonna be so annoyed. Like if we win this game, I'm gonna lose it. Like after we've had to sit through what we sat through today, if we win this game, I'm gonna honestly lose it. DJ threw a couple jump balls to Malik Nabers. It's just overall just it's just overall just a horrible season. I mean, we all know why he's not here. It's strictly because of the money. All right, let me check these other games while we're at it. Panthers down 16-22. Vikings up 35-21. They're about to go away with that game. Um, Raiders down 13-21. They're not going to win. Jaguars won. So that's good. Jaguars out of that first pick. Raiders are losing 28-13, so that game's over. But at least we'll have the second pick if we lose today. But we might win. We might win. I promise I'll lose it. Yeah, the Jags won. That's what we needed. Maybe you were saying like you wanted them to lose so they would keep that first pick so we could trade up, but I don't know. That moves us up to number 2 at least. That way nobody can trade up with the Jags to take our pick, to go get a quarterback. But the Jags and the Raiders play, so whoever wins that game is going to be, in that third pick or fourth pick. And whoever loses is going to be probably in the first or second pick. Yeah, the Titans are getting blown out at this point. They're done. All right. Saints, I need y'all to run this clock out. I need y'all to run the clock out. All right, let's see. Panthers with the ball. They just lost. Okay. All right, so Eagles are still one game out. So, like I said, they'll at least be able to fight for first place in that last game. Jags already won, so they're. Oh, you saying in their game they're going to tie? Look at Dory Jackson dancing, man. In garbage time. Let's see. Let's see what happens. 2nd and 10. I see people putting emojis. I'm gonna be sick if something crazy happens. Why did he just jump like that? Dude, it's the end of the game. Why is he jumping like that? What is wrong with Derek Carr? What do you what why did he jump? Why did he jump? Yeah, he might have gotten hit right there. But it also looked like he landed on his head too. I won't take over. I mean, at this point, man, like I just need to lose this game. That's all we need right here is to lose the game. And it looks like Derek Carr is screwing us over. Yeah, I think both happen. I don't know who this backup quarterback is. I've never even halfway heard of this guy. Jake Hayner, 48 completion percentage. Dude has a career 48 completion percentage. Yeah, he definitely got hit. Here we are, 3rd and 1. Hayner in the game. Oh my God. And Micah McFadden's been all over the field. Why couldn't you play like this when I wanted to win games? Oh no. 3:21 left. Please, Drew Lock, I need you to throw an interception. I need you to throw an interception, Drew. Malik Nabers apparently was on the sideline yelling, "Y'all calling plays like I ain't out there." Like Micah McFadden has 5 tackles for loss today. Like this dude is so obsessed. Like, come on, man. Drew Lock taking off again. Drew Lock is sliding and he just got almost lit up. All right, here we go. 2nd and 7 here for the Giants and Drew Lock at the 16 and a half. Drew Lock and Malik Nabers is hurt. That was Malik Nabers. That was Malik Nabers' shot at a long touchdown. He would have probably scored. 3rd and 7. Here we go. Blitzing again. Drew Lock fading away. And Slayton catching it. Leave it to Darius Slayton. Leave it to Darius Slayton. Leave it to Darius Slayton. Oh my God, this dude Drew Lock. Oh my God. Why are you making throws like this all of a sudden, man? Why couldn't they do this when I wanted to win games? That was way past zero. There's no way they're giving him that timeout. Yeah, that's definitely a delayed game. He called a timeout like 5 seconds after. Oh my God. Like, I never thought that this is the first time in my entire life that I'm watching a game and like I'm honestly saying like I really want to lose. This is like the first time ever. Even last game I wasn't even ready. There we go. Tip right there, 1st and 15. They gave us the timeout. No, they didn't give us a timeout. They went ahead and called that flag. 2nd and 15 here at our 32. 2:19 left to go. Drew Lock with forever and a day. Tyrone Tracy making a play. Picking up like 6. If we win this game, man. This is a random thought that popped into my head, but remember Carl Banks was saying that the Giants got a legit win against the Eagles last year and that would play a factor. That just randomly popped into my head. Yeah, we absolutely cannot afford to win this game. Like, and I feel like it's gonna happen now. Not at all Giant like because like I said, even last year, even last week, I was like rooting for a win. Like I was like, we need to win. But right now, I'm like completely on board with the tank. And I feel like since so many of us are completely on board, this is when they go out and win. With no home wins, this is when they finally go out and win. Let me see Tankathon. Right now, the Patriots have the third pick. Carolina Panthers have the fourth pick. Jacksonville has the fifth pick. So they fell down 4 picks by winning. Vegas, of course, has the first pick. They're 2-11. Um, Losing to the Saints, would that put us at number 1? That might still have us at number 2. We'll see. We'll see after we lose this game, hopefully. But strength of schedule for the Raiders is 0.533. For us, it's 0.542. But we're playing a team with not many wins. Like the Saints have 4 wins. The Raiders just lost to a pretty good team, right? Didn't they? They lost to the Bucks. So the Bucks are in a wild card. Like they're 7-6. We're playing a team that's 4 wins. So this may be enough to put us at number 1. Maybe. because that'll put us at 1. Um, Next week, the Raiders will play the Falcons. That's a 6-win team, and we play the Ravens, so that'll screw us up. So hopefully they beat the Falcons. But then we play the Falcons, and they play the Jags. So as far as strength of schedule goes, we cannot afford to win. If we win, we're not getting the first pick. That's point blank. Period. There we go, Drew. There we go, Drew. Intercept it, please. That's an incomplete pass to Wandale. I'm sorry, but I'll never root for the team to lose. A good. Listen, I don't know. I don't know. We might need our. I just want the new staff to come in and get the guy that we need. Because you're not understand. It's one thing if we get the number 2 pick, but if we have the number 8 pick, because there's so many teams right now that have 3 wins. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 teams that have 3 wins. So if we have the 8 or 9 pick, that's a big difference. We're not getting a quarterback at that point. Intercepted! There we go, Drew. There we go, Drew. There we go, Drew. There we go, Drew. No, he wasn't touched. He definitely like kneeled. He definitely kneeled, and then he got up and ran. He definitely caught that and then kneeled. Oh, he didn't take a knee. His knee was on the ground, but he didn't take a knee. Jalen Hurts when trailing versus the Panthers. 10 for 13, 71 passing yards, 58 rushing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. There you go. Nothing like a fadeaway pass going to the sideline. We just need him to get like 1 or 2 more first downs, and we're good. Like I said, I never thought I would be in this situation, but we cannot. I mean, we can't afford to keep ending up in the same situation where we can't get the quarterback we need. Because what I was saying before he threw that interception is if we don't have a top 2 pick or at least a top 3 pick or 4 pick, it's going to be very difficult to get to a position where we can go up and get a quarterback. I do think that oh boy, Kayvon Thibodeau just put that dude in the dirt. I already don't trust Drew Lock to I already don't trust Drew Lock to come back and win this game after they punt it. So we just make sure that we don't get a big punt return. Yeah, people thought was Lock was a legit starter because he came in last year to Seattle and played decent, but I mean Drew Lock has always been a trouble guy. 3rd and 19. Just throw a screen pass. Just throw a screen pass. 3rd and 19. And they get a draw there, and they're gonna get a half a yard. I don't understand what the Giants defense has against Alvin Kamara. They literally lost me a week of fantasy football. Drew Lock is definitely in pain. Like his midsection is in pain because that wasn't like a concussion Winston in pain. That was like I got hit. You know that stadium looks so sad. Yeah, people are leaving. That's the funny thing is like, why did you stay for this long if you're not gonna stay for the ending of the game? Here we go. Smith Marset going down just inside at 30, 121 left. This is Drew Lock's chance. No timeouts. No timeouts. This is Drew Lock's chance to try to bring his team back. I really hope that we can hold on here. If not, it is what it is. Last season, all season, I was like, we're gonna root for us to win all year long. And it came back to bite me. So I mean, I gotta stand firm here. And for the first time, like I said, I've been at least today, I've been rooting for us to lose, which stinks. Drew Lock fading away, hitting Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone Tracy's got some time, and they're just at the 40. Nice check down from Drew Lock. Nice run after the catch from Tyrone Tracy. Here we go. Drew Lock taking a shot, and Malik Nabers can't come down with it. I thought he came down with that for a sec. It looked like he came down with it, but Taylor took it out at the last second. All right. Did I say Hyatt? I meant to say Neighbors. Maybe I said Hyatt. I don't know. And that way the ball got batted. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, Drew Lock has had 5 passes batted. I mean, he's at this point like, what's going on? That's Evan Neal. Everybody that's lined up across from Evan Neal is batting the ball down. Yeah, Evan Neal is worse than Eric Flowers. That's actually true. Wow. I All right. The Giants are 5 for 17 on third down here on 3rd and 10. And Wanda Robinson calling for a flag. There's no flag. 4th and 10 coming up. Let's see. Was it early? That wasn't really interference. I don't know what Wanda was crying about. All right, 1 for 3 on 4th down. 4th and 10 coming up for the Giants. Drew Lock's got protection. He's stepping up. He's running. He's got time. He's picking up the first down. He's in field goal range. Oh no. We're going to win this game. We're not even going into overtime. We're going to score. We're going to score a touchdown. We're going to score a touchdown. I already know. I already know. I already know we're going to score a touchdown. We're going to score a touchdown. Like, oh no, we're going to score a touchdown. It's over. It's over. It's over. Look at Leak with the ball. I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. I already knew. I already know it. I already know it. I already know it. We're gonna score a touchdown. Oh my god. We're gonna score a touchdown. Oh my god. Now all of a sudden Malik Nabers can break tackles. Now all of a sudden Malik Nabers is a yak guy. There goes Josh Azudu. Oh boy. Like now Malik Nabers is breaking those tackles. I mean, that was the best yak play we've seen from Malik Nabers all year long. Like this is about to get Dable. This is about to get Dable to keep his job. 16 seconds left. 3rd and 15 coming up. 16 seconds left. Last shot to get into the end zone here. If not, they'll kick a field goal with no offense. The Saints have no offense. The Saints have no offense. At this point, I mean, 3rd and 15. 3rd and 15. We need a sack here or interception or something. And Drew Lock just threw it away. We're going to go to overtime, and the Saints don't have an offense. Like, and look, like we're going to sit here and go to overtime when they don't have an offense. All right. Blocked. Oh my God. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, okay. I'm hitting record. I'm hitting record. We're doing the post game. We're doing the post game. I cannot believe what I just saw. I cannot believe what I just saw. The Giants just gave me exactly what I wanted. We had an exciting finish to the game, and we still. I was. This is the first day of my life that I've ever rooted for the Giants to lose a football game. And Brian Breesy, shout out to Brian Breesy, one of my favorite guys in the draft when he was coming out. But shout out to him. He just jumped over at his big size. He just jumped over and blocked this field goal. Oh my, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We were about to be in a situation, we were about to be in a situation where the Jaguars just lost. And we were at what, the second overall pick? We were about to fall down to like the 6th or 7th overall pick. We're about to fall down to like the 6th or 7th overall pick today. If Drew Lock, for some reason, at the end of this game, decided to play like he was a good player, like he's fading away, throwing dots, he's hitting Malik Nabers, and Malik Nabers all year long is going down on the first tackle. And now all of a sudden he's spinning out his stuff and juking pass and reversing field. Like, where was this before? Where was this when I wanted to win games? Where was this where was this when I was trying to win games? But now, Drew Lock at the end of the game is putting on a clinic. Now, like he's sitting there putting on a clinic. So like I was sick. I was sick because we have had to sit through all of this nonsense. And most of this game was nonsense and just embarrassing. And we were going to come out of this game with a win. And not because like we played so well at the end of the game, but because Derek Carr hurdled for some reason and fell on his face and maybe hit himself in the midsection. Because he did that, we were about to lose this game. So, I mean, Drew Lock, 21 for 49, 227, and 59 yards rushing. I mean, I guess that's a big game. No touchdowns from him. uh, Drew Lock put up all those yards to put up 11 points. It's nuts to me. Um, Malik Nabers, 10 targets, 5 receptions, 79 yards. So another close to 80-yard game for Malik Nabers. He's cruising into 1,000-yard territory. Tyrone Tracy, 45 yards today. I think he still can get to 1,000 yards. We're just here at this point, just stat watching, and just trying to preserve the pick. Just trying to preserve the pick. Let's see. Micah McFadden today. He did all he could to stop the tank. He did all he could to stop the tank. This man put up 11 tackles. The guy that misses every tackle under the sun didn't miss any tackles today. 11 tackles, 8 solo, 5 tackles for loss. Why? Who is this dude? Why all of a sudden you making all these tackles for loss? Every time Alvin Kamara, who's on my fantasy team, who I'm like, okay, well, at least my team stinks, and I'm going to have to watch them play like crap, but at least Alvin Kamara is going to have 150 yards and 3 touchdowns, and I'll get to win this week in fantasy. Well, guess what? Nothing. Nothing from him today. I didn't even know how many points he got, but I know it's not very much. I mean, this dude, McFadden, was all over the place. Darius Moissault making tackles. But 5 tackles for losses for Micah McFadden. Trey Hawkins had a decent game. 2 pass deflections, an interception. Adoree Jackson had a couple pass breakups. Let's look at time of possession and everything like that. 112 yards for the Giants today, mostly Drew Lock. 213 passing with the sacks included. 291 total for the Saints. 325 total for the Giants. So we outgained them in that fourth quarter mostly. Let's look back at the Saints. We completely shut down their running game. 17 carries for 44 yards from Kamara. Miller had 32 yards on and he had some really nice runs today, but still only 32 yards. I wish I had a number for how many times they did not get back to the line of scrimmage, but I think it was in double digits. So the Giants did what they were supposed to do. Make it exciting at the end of the game. Get my blood boiling and come out with the loss. Because if we would have won this game, I'm pulling up Tankathon because Tankathon is where I haven't been on this site in years, but Tankathon is where I have to reside now. So right now, the Vegas Raiders are at number 1. They've got 2 wins, 11 losses. We got 2 wins, 11 losses. The difference is their strength of schedule is 0.533. Our strength of schedule is 0.544. So we got some teams coming up like the Ravens. Us losing against the Ravens next week is only going to bring our strength of schedule up. Them losing to whoever they play next week is only going to bring their strength of schedule down or keep it the same because I think they played like a 6-win team or something like that. So the Giants can absolutely not afford to win any more games. We just can't afford it because right now our strength of schedule is what? 0.544. Guess what? The Patriots are at 0.462. The Panthers are at 0.488. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 0.493. The Tennessee Titans are 0.516. The Cleveland Browns are 0.521. The Jets are 0.512. Why do I say all of those random numbers? Because the Giants' strength of schedule is higher than all of these teams. And we play the Ravens next week. And we play the Eagles at the end of the season. So we cannot afford to win a game because we'll end up picking 9th overall. Everybody wants to say, it's okay. You just go out and win. You just go out and, do what you do in the season and let the chips fall where they may. Well, guess what? The chips are going to fall. We're going to fall to the 9th pick. So if we fall to the 9th or 10th pick, we're not getting a quarterback this year that's of any significance or status. We're not getting them. And then on top of that, you're not trading up for one. Because guess what? You'll have the Jets in front of you. You'll have a lot of these teams in front of you. And these teams are not going to allow you to trade out ahead of them to get a quarterback. So you cannot afford it. You can't afford it. Last year I fell for it. Last year I was out here and I was like, listen, we got DeVito, it's Tommy Cutlass. I was doing this. I was like, listen, we have to win because of culture. Because these players have to fight for their jobs, this blah blah blah. And part of that was true because those players do have to fight for their jobs. They're not going to tank. But also us winning lost us. It lost us out on Jaden Daniels. We lost out on Drake May because of some meaningless games that we won last year that were culture builders. Well, look at the culture this year. Look at how the culture looks this year. Listen, literally. I can't even talk right now. Look at how the culture looks this year. It looks atrocious. It looks non-existent. So those games last year, it didn't get us culture. It didn't get us a quarterback. And look at where we are now. So, I mean, I'm completely out of it. I'm completely disgusted from what I've had to see this season. And we deserve this loss. And this is the first victory loss speech that I've ever given in my life for the Giants. And it makes me sick, but it's necessary. So, we got 4 more games? I think 4 more games? 2-15, 2-16. I think we got 5 more games. Whatever, 4 or 5 more games. However many games we got left, we got to lose them all. Because if we don't, could be picking as low as 9th overall, and that's just unacceptable. So, you all have a great rest of your day. I hope you all had fun watching the end of this game. They made it exciting, but we did end up with Graham Gano getting the field goal block, Brian Breesy coming through, and Malik Nabers tried to get us out of it. Drew Lock tried to get us out of it. But, at the end of the day, we kept our pick. And again, this is the only time. These couple weeks are going to be the only time you see me rooting against this team. And, maybe we'll have some tape for Michael McFadden and Trey Hawkins we can look at this week. All right. So that's that video finished. Let me take a look at the chat real quick. Jennifer said, thank God they almost cried. I know, I was sick. I really thought we were going to overtime. And if we would have went to overtime with them having that backup quarterback, that would have been a mess. That would have been horrible. Thank you, Saints, for being barely better than us in the 2024 Dookie Bowl. That surely was it. Bobby Bottles, he says, I wouldn't mind if the Giants got the first pick to draft Travis Hunter, plus make Sam Darnold a bridge quarterback. I think after today, and I think, depending on what they do in the playoffs, I think Sam Darnold is going to be back next year on a tag for the Vikings. And I think they're going to give him next year to prove if he's going to be their starting quarterback or not. And if he's not their starting quarterback, I think he'll end up, going somewhere else after next year. But I think next year he's going to be on their team because he's playing way too well. But there are some bridge quarterback options. I just uploaded a video on some of them a couple days ago. The horse is prepared for battle, but victory comes from the Lord. I know that's right. Some players were very solid, but the tank doesn't lie. Proving that we are tanking about Drew Lock ran into the defender instead of open lane that he saw. That was crazy. Soul Brother number 1. Shout out to you, man. Art Stapleton said the organization is tanking. Says don't want to repeat of the draft. I would like to look at that because usually Art would never admit something like that on his Twitter. Giants don't fall lower than 5th with 4 wins. Yes, but taking a look at Tankathon, with 4 wins, they will be 9th, actually. I think they will be 9th, Alexander, because the Jets have 3 wins, the Browns have 3 wins, the Titans have 3 wins, the Jaguars have 3 wins, the Panthers have 3 wins, the New England Patriots have 3 wins. So if they win, they will be tied with a lot of these teams, and the strength of schedule for these teams is lower than us, so we could be as low as 9. So let's see if we got anything else here. Looks like the chat is moving kind of slow. I may just sign off and get this video uploaded. I just switched internet, and I'm probably gonna switch back. Well, I already did switch back uh, in a couple days, but the internet I just switched to, I'm telling you, uh, I'm telling you, the internet I just switched to. I used to be able to upload videos in like 10 seconds or less. Now it's taking me like 20 minutes. So probably gonna get a head start on that. Michael, I understand. Yeah, the way too many penalties, and that's another reason why Brian Dable is showing that he probably shouldn't be back because these are way too many penalties. Like illegal formation, pass interference on the offense, illegal man downfield. Like these are procedural penalties that should not be happening. It just always pops in my head at Tom Coughlin saying we lost the game because of a legal procedure, and it literally happens to us. So at some point, it's like, are we going to continue to allow this to just derail us? Like we're going to continue to allow all these penalties and procedural penalties, especially, cause us to lose out on games. So you're 100% right, Michael. There's way too many penalties. 25 penalties in 2 games is ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this stream up. You guys have a great rest of your day. I know some people are sad. I'm kind of sad about the loss, but I'm a lot more happy than I am sad. So like I said, I'll probably have some actual videos to put out with Malik Nabers. Probably has some decent stuff on tape, and then Mike McFadden, especially, and Trey Hawkins. Probably look out for that. Also, if you're not a member, I'm uploading draft content there already. I got Cam Ward going up. If I can get my voice to recharge, I might record that video and get that up today. If not, that'll be up during the week. But of course, all the regular videos will be up on the regular part of the channel. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. You guys have a great rest of your day, like I said.